Hey there, guys. This is Rain F talking at you. It's our first episode of Tangent Club tonight. I'm joined with myself today, along with
you, yourself, you.
Nice. Well, I wasn't going to introduce you next, but I guess I have to now. That was our good buddy ArdenXIII.
Stole his introduction.
That was our good buddy ArdenXIII.
What's going on, guys?
Along with our good buddy Mal.
It's me, good old Mal. Yeah, it's our first episode of Tangent Club. We're gonna start out with a segment that I came up with that's gonna be pretty fucking funny.
He says.
Unenthused. All right, well, fuck mine. Anyway.
You didn't give me a script or anything like that. I have no idea what you're saying.
This is completely unscripted. By the way, this is a podcast. You know all the professionals, they have scripts and shit.
Correction. They don't have scripts. They have they have blocked out things so everybody understands.
This is 100% scripted. Everything we're saying now is completely scripted and
completely scripted.
Even the parts that we're saying right now.
Sure.
Back to the script.
Subscribe to our Patreon for Tangent Club scripts.
So we're gonna play a game.
Oh, I love those.
It's called Guess the Fake Nerd News Story.
Okay. Okay.
I have some recent news stories pulled directly from IGN, and some of them are true and some of them are not true. And it's your guys' job to guess which one is not true.
Fuck me.
Oh, I'm ready for this.
I'm at a disadvantage.
We're playing it once.
This is my life.
Yeah, I'm at a
fucking disadvantage. You might have these. All right. I'm gonna give you all of them.
Okay. And we have to figure out. Okay.
I'm gonna read all of them first.
Yeah.
And then pick which ones you want. Don't give your answers right away because you're both gonna give them at the end.
Okay, really quick. Do we know? Can you tell us how many are real versus fake?
One is fake.
One is fake.
That's
all I need to know.
Out of the four, one is fake.
Cool. Solid.
Yes. All right. Number one.
Jesus.
There is a new Super Nintendo World coming to a theme park in Orlando, Florida.
I think I've heard about that, actually.
Have you?
I don't know.
I heard about the one opening up in Japan.
Have you?
Yeah.
No, I heard about the one opening up in Japan.
All right. Number two. THC Nordic has announced Battle for Bikini Bottom 2 Rehydrated.
I fucking love THQ Nordic. I love those guys so fucking much.
If that's real, that's wild. Why would they not just reboot it at this point? If that one.
I don't know.
Bikini Bottom 2. Oh my god.
Number three. The Sonic the Hedgehog movie will reportedly have post-credit scene that tie it into the Fast and Furious universe.
I got something in my eye.
I really want that one to be true. Honestly,
I wouldn't put it past Dwayne. Not Dwayne, the other bald one.
Vin Diesel?
Diesel.
You mean like my uncle, Vin Weasel?
Oh my god.
Stop it.
And the last story, Star Wars The Clone Wars will be becoming a weekly comic written by the same person who wrote Squirrel Girl.
I'm sorry, repeat that?
That'd actually be sick.
Star Wars The Clone Wars will be becoming a weekly comic written by the guy who wrote Squirrel Girl.
The Squirrel Girl writer was great. So if that is actually true, then that's really sick.
So those are your four stories. THC Nordic, Bikini Bottom 2 Rehydrated, Sonic in the Fast and Furious universe, a new Nintendo World coming to a theme park in Orlando. I'm sorry. No, I was right. I'm not crazy. Star Wars The Clone Wars will be becoming a weekly comic written by the same guy who wrote Squirrel Girl. I've got a soft R. That's a motherfucker to say.
Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel?
Squirrel. But if I say it quick, it's Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl. Squelgo. That's fine. It's easier in a British accent.
Rumple the Barbie?
All right, Noah, which one do you think is the fake news story?
I'm going to go with this one, even though I really want it to be real. I'm going to go with the Sonic the Hedgehog post-credit scene, Fast and the Furious.
Okay.
You think that's the fake one?
I think that's the fake one.
All right.
The rest of them all seem very plausible.
I'm going to go with the
Nintendo World?
Nintendo World.
Okay.
Nintendo World. That's my final answer.
The correct answer is there's no news about Sonic being in the Fast and Furious franchise.
Cool. Sick.
I have
Everything else is
definitely
true.
heard that, though.
Everything else is true.
I have definitely heard that, though.
I think I told you that. Because someone on Reddit had said something about that being a possibility. But it got completely disproven.
Oh, was it? Fuck.
Yeah, that's not... They.
Well, then I was misled by the...
So
I
if
was
it
misled by the
was-
judge.
Okay, it's cool.
I was misled by the fucking
Little
judge.
upset Sonic's not going to show up right next to The Rock and Vin Diesel.
I mean...
Are you, though?
No, I am,
listen,
'cause
don't get me wrong. If we walk into theaters and somehow...
Sonic
At the end of the movie, Dominic Toretto pulls up next to Sonic for a race.
And he says,
"Don't call me a liar." I'm just saying, right now, it's not a fucking thing.
Here's my thing, brother. What do you think his line would be to him? When he pulls up next to him?
He would just pull up next to him. He would look at him with that fucking Toretto look,
Toretto stare.
and he
The
would
Vin
go.
Diesel
He
stare.
would go. "Let's see how fast you are." And then he would shift. He would downshift and fucking
Peel
lift
out.
the front end of his fucking Charger and peel out.
Yeah.
It's a 76, right?
Yeah.
No, dude. This is not a joke. THC Nordic is bringing back a sequel to Battle for Bikini Bottom, and it is called Battle for Bikini Bottom 2 Rehydrate.
Rehydrated.
What? Okay. Here's my only thing.
That is the
I
official
fucking
title.
love THQ
Why would
Nordic.
you not just reboot it at this point? Because that game came out on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation. No, the Xbox 360 and the PS2.
The Xbox. It was just
No,
the
no.
Xbox.
It wasn't on the Xbox. It was on the 360.
There's not an announced date for this game yet, but basically they're pushing it so it comes out on Nintendo. Towards Christmas.
On the Switch.
Yeah.
That's the only place I could see that game working well at this point, because that game launched on the PlayStation 2 along with all of every other THC Nordic game that they produced for Nickelodeon.
Right.
Like all the great Jimmy Neutron games.
Well, so my issue is that all of these games, all the spring releases have been pushed back.
Yeah, they have.
Like all of it.
Yeah.
There's screenshots for this game, and they don't even have a release date for it, which I think is because of PS5. So
No, I mean it is. My case in point on that is, and the ever so great argument you and I had for years, which was it doesn't matter that they have screenshots for it. Kingdom Hearts has screenshots
Yes.
for it since 2014, and we got it last year. Which also, to date this video, Remind DLC just dropped today.
Just came out.
I have still yet to play it, and I've been at home all day. I should have played it by now.
there is a Super Nintendo World coming to Orlando. Yeah.
What does it?
So
do
they're
say
going
which
to
theme
open
park?
the one in Japan.
Yeah.
And then they're going to open this one.
Okay. Which theme park is that they're opening it in, or are they opening their own?
I think they're
theme
opening
park?
their own theme park.
Which I'm okay with. They're going to need a decent chunk of space, though, is the only issue.
Right. Let me see if I can pull up this IGN document. But no, they're like, yeah.
I'm super
coming.
down for that.
They're opening two at once. We're just like, damn, Nintendo, you're like not pulling any fucking punches right now.
I mean, Nintendo has the money for it, and the other thing is that Nintendo's. Look, I love Disney. Disney's got a crazy good team when it comes to building their stuff out, but Disney also almost bankrupted 3 parks at once because they opened them too quickly.
Yes.
If Nintendo's pulling this,
that's
they
true,
learn
yeah.
from Disney's mistakes.
Well, I'm worried that they're opening one in Japan. Universal Studios is bringing Super Nintendo World to North America.
It is. So it's going to be at Universal Studios. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that, so if that's the case, they're just expanding inside Universal Studios.
Yes.
Well, that gives us a reason to go to Universal Studios now, besides Harry Potter.
Universal parent company Comcast has announced Nintendo World. Yeah. But it's coming in 2023.
Oh,
So-
well then we got time.
So they're going to build that thing in 3 years, which I guess they're expert fucking architects. I get that shit, but building a theme park in 3 years seems fucking ridiculous
They
to
built
me.
Star Wars faster, didn't they?
I mean, that scared me because I didn't even hear anything about Star Wars, and then all of a sudden, people were posting videos on the internet of
The
Star Wars, and I was like, "Whoa, holy shit, it's done!"
Yeah.
So-
I mean, here's the thing. Here's what they'll end up doing. They'll launch it with one ride, and they'll be building the others
Right.
when they launch it. So they'll launch it with one interactive coaster. I would assume it's probably going to be Super Mario themed.
Probably.
And then they'll
do like some sort of a like scavenger hunt sort of situation for like Zelda or something.
Yeah, and like
for the time being.
Yeah, they'll do like a Zelda adventure, they'll do a Mario adventure. They might do Metroid, who knows? But they'll do all the classic Nintendo IPs, like the actually Nintendo owned IPs, is what'll be shown in the park.
So this is at the bottom of the article for the theme park that I did not read all of. Super Nintendo World isn't the only way Nintendo is branching out from video games. Nintendo is partnering with Illumination to develop a Super Mario Bros. Movie, which is scheduled to hit theaters in 2022.
I'm okay with that. Illumination does great films.
I hope it's exactly like the old live action.
I really hope it's not. We don't.
I
Need
hope it's the exact.
We don't need the dinosaur.
They're bringing a Super Mario Brothers movie to theaters.
Oh God,
in 2022.
Great.
I hope it's the exact. I hope they get the same fucking actors.
Are they still alive?
Yes.
The Luigi is. I think
Luigi and Mario are both alive.
God, Mario's gotta be old as fuck. Who are those characters?
I just remember Mario looks like Danny DeVito, but he's not Danny DeVito.
He's not. He looks like him, but he ain't. He ain't him. I'm trying to look through right now because of the THQ Nordic got me thinking about this shit now.
3 film. Cast. Yeah, Rob Hoskins and John Leguizamo. I could never say his fucking name right. Leguizamo.
I mean, that was like, dude, that was me trying to say Joe
Leguizamo
the other night. I was like, Joe
Manganiello, you mean?
Manganiello, yeah.
Manganiello, Joe Manganiello.
Still can't say the name right.
Yeah.
Anyway, Star Wars: The Clone Wars is becoming a comic. So it's going to be a 5-issue.
It's going to be produced by it'll be produced by Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super down with that.
I am afraid they're about to beat Clone Wars to fucking death.
No, they definitely are. I don't know what you're talking about. They definitely are.
Well, they're
because I think we all saw that new trailer. Have you seen the new trailer?
I haven't seen the new trailer yet, but
I mean, I was gonna say it's fucking amazing, and if I'm being honest with myself, it sort of just feels like another trailer for Star Wars.
But well, so the thing about it, from what I understand, is they literally just took the season 7 script that they were going to use, and they're using it.
Yes.
They're just using the season 7 script that was supposed to end the series.
How long is this?
Well, no. So we have. Didn't they came back and made a season already?
No,
right?
no. They haven't done a season yet. This is season 7. It's literally.
Oh, this is that season.
Season 7.
I thought it was already out.
No.
Okay.
It starts in February.
Well, then yes, this is.
This is the last season of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and then they're going to release a comic book series with it.
Yes.
So I don't know if that's beating it to death at that point. A comic book series, you don't have to read the comic books.
I mean,
I think you don't want to.
I think
we're sort of beating. Well, I mean, at this point, this makes the fourth piece of media that has Star Wars: The Clone Wars name on it.
Yeah.
So we have the 2003 animated series where everyone is actually a badass.
Yeah. Where all of the Jedi are at Old Republic level.
Right. The
y'all don't even know.
Cartoon Network series that has now become the
that is Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Yes.
That's the titular Clone Wars series.
You have the movie,
which started
the
titular Clone
which
Wars
I guess
series.
I can sort of count out because it's fine, and now you have a comic.
Well, because the movie is, don't even count the movie because the movie is just.
Technically the pilot
episode,
for the Clone Wars.
Like case in
not
point,
even technically.
Case in point, Ahsoka Tano was supposed to be Obi-Wan Kenobi's next Padawan after Anakin took the Jedi Knight trials, and then Obi-Wan was like, "No, give her to Anakin."
Well, I just like that Ahsoka is the main character of the Clone Wars.
Yeah, she is. The Clone Wars is not about.
It started out and it was like Anakin and Obi-Wan and people doing stuff, but now everyone is sort of just like.
No, it's about Ahsoka Tano. Yeah, it's
Ahsoka.
It's Ahsoka Tano's journey. I mean, case in point, have you watched Rebels yet?
No, but I know all of her story in Rebels.
Like the entire case in point that she comes back at the very end of spoiler alert for Star Wars
for
Rebels.
A series that came out 4 years ago.
I mean, listen, spoiler alert for Star Wars. There's going to be a lot of Star Wars talked about in this. The movie, everything like that. So just get ready for that.
2020, we're talking about that. What happened?
But no, I mean it's the entire case in point of like Ahsoka Tano's entire journey. This is this season is going to be very necessary to like finalize Ahsoka Tano's journey, because this is the middle point that we lost.
I mean, I love that she ends up becoming the catalyst for the rebellion. What is her title? The fulcrum.
Well, it's something that the fulcrum is just that's just a title given to any informant inside the rebellion that is anonymous. Like you can have traitors in the Empire who will gain the title fulcrum for the rebellion because they're feeding Empire information to the rebellion.
Right.
Fulcrum is just a title for their anonymous spies. But that was started because of Ahsoka.
Right.
She started the entire fulcrum unit.
Yes.
But it's I'm just really excited about season 7 because it is going to be that's unprofessional. Oh.
Wow! Damn!
Wow!
Sorry, man. I gotta fucking tell the host to stop calling.
That is me. That is me. 100% joking, fans at home. No, it's like this season 7. I feel like is going to be very important for the Ahsoka Tano journey. And with what I was saying, sorry, I get off on tangents. That's the name of our fucking podcast.
Yeah, man. There's no structure.
So Ahsoka Tano literally ends the series with her having disappeared at one point.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, where the fuck did
She
Ahsoka
leaves.
go? And then she doesn't leave. She fights Vader at the end of season 2.
Oh, are you talking about
You're
Rebels?
talking about Rebels, yeah.
Rebels,
Yes,
Rebels,
yes.
yeah. The series ends like in Rebels. She fights Vader. She realizes Vader is Anakin. Anakin because of some things he says, and it's in that moment she realizes
It's because she recognizes his. There's a whole line where she and I don't remember the guy's name. Jaden, was it? No, the guy.
Kanan Jarrus.
No, the kid.
Not the
kid?
kid. No, not Ezra. Not the.
Ezra's the one who's in the pyramid with her fighting.
Yes, I understand.
Kanan's also there.
Kanan is his name.
Yeah,
Kanan
Jarrus.
and her. There's a whole scene of them in a ship. I do believe they're passing a Star Destroyer or something like that.
And they're in the Ghost.
And the Ghost. And there's I haven't felt this presence since the Clone Wars. And they plastered that shit everywhere.
Yeah.
When the two of them crossed Vader again.
Yeah.
And it was yeah.
No, yeah, Ahsoka is one of the only people who knows that Vader is Anakin Skywalker, which also one of the best turns of media, in my opinion, on how you're gonna defame Princess Leia when the First Order rolls back up. Immediately tell everybody that her father was Darth Vader.
Yeah, which I didn't find out until 4 years after that movie came out.
Genius way to be like, oh, you know that one senator you guys had that was a really key point to your rebellion? Yeah, her dad's Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Why are you letting her on your council now?
Yeah.
And she immediately got kicked off.
That's some fucking shit.
That is a smear campaign done perfect. But yeah, no, at the very end of the series though, when we see Ahsoka again, we do not see her with lightsabers. We see her literally standing there in white and gray robes, with a hood up and a staff.
Yeah, with her fucking cane staff. It
is a staff. That is her entire outfit designates someone who has given their life to the Force. Not a Jedi, but a Force philosopher almost. And I'm very excited to see how that is going to play in. I want more information on that. Also, super okay with Rosario Dawson playing Ahsoka in The Mandalorian. Just gonna put that out there right now. Super
is that a
down
thing?
What? Wait a minute?
Rosario Dawson has put her hat in the ring to play Ahsoka Tano in The Mandalorian because they've been talking about bringing Ahsoka into The Mandalorian as a character.
I'm not.
I don't want
sure.
that at all.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I don't want her. See, because fuck's sake, they had an amazing fucking series. Yeah. Everyone liked The Mandalorian. People who don't like Star Wars like The Mandalorian. And then they're like...
It's a Western.
And then they're like... And the reason everyone liked it, because you didn't have to know shit about Star Wars. You just got this separate story.
And the way that
it worked really well. And then 2 weeks after the fucking shit finished up and everyone was like, it's amazing, Disney comes out and goes, so the next season of The Mandalorian is going to include characters from the Skywalker saga. And we're like... No one asked for that, man. Just give us a normal series.
I thought we were retiring that shit, too.
Yeah, which I agree with. I just like the idea of Rosario Dawson playing Ahsoka Tano. I think she would play a very good Ahsoka Tano in live action.
I like Rosario Dawson as well. I don't think I want a live action Ahsoka.
I really don't want a live action Ahsoka. It's not the fact that I have something against Ahsoka. It's literally just after all of the nonsense and the bullshit that has come out of Star Wars in the past 5 years, please just let this shit rest. Let this shit rest and take the Mandalorians in some different fucking direction.
Because here's the thing, right? Ahsoka Tano, and I will just say, and I will fucking, you can at me fucking about all of this shit. Star Wars does all of its characters so much better in their animated series.
No, they
all
do.
Of them.
They always have.
100% of the time.
Always have.
George
I can
Lucas
see
is
some
not known
arguments
for his writing.
I can see some arguments
For his
the
dialogue.
new movies and how characters are, and that's fine. But like,
I enjoyed the last movie, but I mean, they literally scrapped every person of color in that film.
I really mean cool people. Like, I mean, aside from the massive drops of character arcs, I mean like the cool shit that they do. Ahsoka Tano feels like a real cool ass fucking Jedi character who lives in the universe, and I'm afraid that when she makes the jump to live action, it'll get weird and messy and sort of lame.
Which is a possibility, but you know.
Does that also mean that she has to? I'm thinking now. I'm sorry. Now my mind is going to the fact that it was Ahsoka's voice actress.
Yeah.
Was in Rise of Skywalker.
Yes. Yeah.
So now that is confusing the canon.
Well, it's also not confirmed. It was literally somebody like it was like somebody talking about something they heard.
Okay.
So there's no confirmation or anything of that sort.
So it was news from the Washington Post.
Yeah, effectively.
Well, here's the thing: is like I don't put it past Disney though, because they are going to take whatever aspects of Star Wars are popular and throw them together. And right now, what is popular is The Mandalorian, and the other thing that's popular is probably going to be this new season of the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So I could see them trying to smash that shit together.
Well, I mean, and here's the other thing too. If they do it, Ahsoka will be how old at that point? Like, it takes place 5 years after. The Mandalorian takes place 5 years after the end of
Return of the Jedi.
The end of Return of the Jedi. Ahsoka was 14, and and the Clone Wars take place. At the beginning of the Clone Wars was what? It was a 3-4 year war.
It's according to the Star Wars canon, the Clone Wars is only 2 years long.
Yeah, so that's a 2-year war. She was 14 at that point.
So she's 16 by the end of the Clone Wars.
So she's 16 by the end of the Clone Wars, and then it's 20 years until, until A New Hope. So at that point she's 26.
36.
No, she's 26.
No, you said 20 years.
36. Yeah,
16 plus 20 is
hey, dude,
26.
I'm not known for my so she's 36 at that point,
She's known for them charming good looks and rugged face.
Not the case. I have like a very bad mustache I'm working on right now. Fucking Super Beard Bros. Let's go. I'll plug them. I love them. Watch the Super Beard Bros. Their Dark Soul Let's Play is great.
Their Bloodborne Let's Play.
Their Bloodborne Let's Play is impeccable.
He'll beat the orphan someday.
He will beat the orphan someday. We believe in you so much if you somehow listen to this podcast.
Here's one that'll break your heart.
Hold on.
Alex Bassiani, we believe in you.
Get to the fucking point.
But so she'd be 36 years old at the point of A New Hope.
Right.
Right? And Rebels ends right after A New Hope.
Oh, okay.
I believe so.
So she's like 40s.
Well, because Leia shows up in Rebels like as a side character,
okay.
But she's Leia Organa, the senator's daughter. Like, she's not Leia Organa, the rebel instigator yet, even though she is.
So Rebels ends before.
Right, like. No, because Leia shows up in season 1 of Rebels.
You're right, and because she was a pivotal person in the creation.
Yeah, of the rebellion.
The rebellion. Yeah, I've seen a couple episodes of Rebels. I get that.
I'm just trying to think about the timeline of Rebels, because I think Rebels takes place over the course of like 2 years or something like that.
Can we talk about how Ahsoka is just better Star Killer?
I mean, she is.
That's what she what she becomes.
That's
the whole premise. Yeah. That's the whole premise of her in Rebels.
Right. But she's
like
starts the rebellion and everything, but also has 2 lightsabers that she holds backwards.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
she was the replacement. When they threw out the expanded universe, they brought in Ahsoka Tano and said, "This is our new Star Killer."
And she's Anakin's
apprentice.
Yes.
Darth Vader's apprentice.
Who leaves
and then comes back.
These motherfuckers recycled an entire character.
Yeah.
And made her a hot alien.
Made her better.
I mean, yes.
And a hot alien. Don't.
Well, I mean, you said better. I said hot alien. We said the same thing, Noah.
To quote Donald Glover. how can you not be pansexual in space? There's so many things to have sex with.
That's real.
But no. So I mean,
things
it's the
to
case
have
when
sex
like she'd be what? She'd effectively be like 38.
Yes,
or like
close to her 40.
36 to 38 in
Right.
that age range.
By
A New Hope.
By A New Hope, yep.
And then the Galactic Civil War.
Galactic Civil War, which was like 5 years long.
Yeah, 5-year war on top. So she's like 40. She'd be like.
So she'd be 40 in the Mandalorian.
No, she'd be in her like
She'd
late
be
40s,
45.
early 50s.
Yeah.
In the Mandalorian.
Because the Mandalorian is how long after?
5 years after the end of
Okay.
the Return of the Jedi.
I'm down with that. I mean, like
I'd be okay with old lady Ahsoka if that was the case, because she wouldn't show
middle aged.
She would. For a Jedi at this point in time, she's old.
she's also an alien.
This is true, but I'm just saying, like, I would be okay with like 50-year-old Ahsoka Tano showing up as like the Mystic
Yes.
in an episode, literally just to explain Baby Yoda.
That would be great.
Like that's where I would be okay with it.
Yeah, as not a staple character,
not as
but
a staple
like
character, but literally just showing up as the Yoda character for the Mandalorian, trying to figure out who Baby Yoda is, and trying to figure out where it is. Because for those of you
Baby
who haven't,
Yoda is the main character for the next set of Star Wars movies.
I'd be so down with that. You have no idea.
Because they're like
Mandalorian trained Jedi Knight. Yes,
they're like
please.
we want to throw the movies way off of this timeline.
Yeah.
So if you just threw it into a future
Like
where Baby
500
Yoda
years
is
later,
an adult, he's the main character of the series.
I'd be
That'd
very
be dope
okay
as
with that.
fuck.
I'd
That'd
be
be
super
cool.
okay with Baby Yoda, the Mandalorian, like Jedi Knight.
Yes.
well,
Or Baby Yoda, the Mandalorian.
Who uses the Force sometimes? Here's what's up. This is gonna break your heart.
Break my heart?
You might already have heard about this, but the Obi-Wan series has been put
Yeah.
on hold indefinitely.
Yeah. Apparently
They're probably not gonna make that shit.
The director for the series looked over the scripts again and didn't like what he saw, so he's rewriting the entire series.
So if you do get it, it'll be probably good. But right now, it's been put on hold.
I think my favorite Twitter post about it was, they're rewriting the entire series so that he was related to Palpatine first.
Who?
What?
No. That was my favorite like Twitter response.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Was they're just rewriting the series so that Obi-Wan's related to Palpatine
Oh.
first.
God
Obi-Wan
damn it.
Palpatine. Fuck me. That is a little heartbreaking. I remember that. I remember the conference, the video that I got like live feed from somebody. Somebody sent that to me. I think it was Austin actually.
Would not surprise me.
Would not surprise me. Sent me the live feed of Ewan McGregor accepting the role of Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Again, like taking up the mantle, and I was fucked up. I was shook up by that.
Well, maybe we'll still get it, but it's not gonna be fucking soon.
I mean, you're looking at 2022 minimum.
I honestly, that's fine with me.
Yeah, and
That's to take a step away from Star Wars with the way that it was left. I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Just
well, especially with such a pivotal character.
give me
that
a
the
fucking
fans
breath,
love.
especially with such a pivotal character. And if they're, I thought they were trying to retire the fucking Skywalker saga, and no.
That's what they said they're gonna do,
Well,
and they fucking hit you. Jesus, that'd be fucking great.
mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. The other thing that came out either today or yesterday, they released the concept art from the flubbed script for episode 9.
Yeah.
It's dope as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, before I was like
the concept art for Duel of Fates,
Yeah.
Yes.
episode 9 Duel of Fates.
Yes.
Oh, God, fuck.
Okay,
damn
so before I was like, it's fine. People say that it's a better script, but here's the thing,
it's
right?
a way better script.
But here's the thing: if we'd gotten that script and then the script for the movie we saw came out leaked on the internet a couple days later, they're probably the same amount of people would be going, "Oh man, I wish we got this.
I wish we got this
I
movie.
wish we got this movie. Ray and Kylo kiss at the end of it.
God,
fucking raise a Palpatine. That would have been awesome. Like, you know, people would probably feel the same way.
Yeah,
and that's how I felt.
Yeah.
But this concept fucking art is like, like the first concept piece that you see is old Leia in her white robes, shot in the exact same way as when she puts the message into R2.
Oh, that's really good.
But it's her old and putting it into BB-8.
Oh, that's good.
It's fucking gorgeous. Luke comes back in one of the scenes. He's seen as a Force ghost training Rey.
Okay.
And her outfit is his outfit from Return of the Jedi.
Oh, so all black?
Her jacket looks like Starkiller's girlfriend's jacket.
Sick.
She's dope as fuck. She's got a double-sided blue lightsaber.
Yeah.
That's... Look at that shit. Look at that shit.
Yo!
Tell me that's not dope as fuck,
That's
man.
pretty dope. Also, the double-bladed lightsaber is really great. I love that. I love that touch.
She would have been...
I love this journey
that,
for you.
That cool-ass black fucking... You know, I thought that was the coolest shit as a kid.
Oh no!
Like Luke walking in and taking off his robe, and that nigga's like black, like all black everything, green lightsaber, ready to go.
The drip is heavy, bro.
So saucy.
Oh, I mean, I loved it. So you know me, I'm a symbolism guy. I loved it literally for the symbolism aspect of the entire thing, where we see him head to toe in the black clothes.
So go back.
Hang on, finish.
Like head to toe in the black clothes. And in the whole movie, you're sitting there and you're like, oh, geez, has Luke actually turned to the dark side? Like, is this what's happening? Like, that's what you're getting from it. And in the final scene where he gets cut across the chest and his jacket opens up and we see underneath, he's been wearing a white shirt underneath the entire time, showing that he's not, has never turned from the light. Like that's just so good. Like, that's great cinematography.
There's great cinematography and that's great symbolism. And honestly, that was where Star Wars was strongest.
Yeah, I would agree.
That was that right.
I will argue that Star Wars was strongest in that scene.
Yes,
that's what I'm talking about.
I don't know about
shit like that.
Character-wise, it was at its strongest then.
I'm gonna pick up Darth Sidious. I'm gonna throw him down a drain.
That movie is not as good as it once was.
Sure.
As a child.
Sure.
So that,
I mean, none of them are.
So that picture below this one, so these pictures are the rebels took old walkers, repurposed them to fight against the First Order.
Right.
And like
in this script, fucking Finn leads a stormtrooper rebellion on Coruscant.
Yes.
Which is
so all of the
super
stormtroopers
fucking dope.
Yeah, so all the stormtroopers wear old stormtrooper armor to fight the
First Order.
The First Order. It's sick as fuck. And the other photos are just of
this is you know what this is?
This
is Les Mis.
Yes.
This is straight out of fucking, like, French Revolution head ass. That's dope. That's badass. What I'm looking at right now is basically, it's a scene clearly on, like, some sort of gotta be Coruscant. But it's where the stormtroopers have, like, taken walkers and shit and, like, piled a bunch of... Mounted extra guns on them. Like, piled all sorts of debris and shit, just creating a barricade. And they're, like, standing down an army of stormtroopers. Like, this is what I live for, honestly. Hey, there's the boy!
There's a Kylo Ren Darth Vader fight in a cave.
Oh, that would have been really cool.
That Kylo Ren's master, a random-ass eldritch horror of the dark side, like, sends him into, because that's his master in that script.
Because that's who Snoke's master is.
That's
or, like,
who
that's who
Palpatine's
Snoke...
master was.
Oh, right, because they
retconned...
retconned...
Plagueis?
No. They retconned Plagueis.
So Plagueis... in that script was not Palpatine's master. It's this weird-ass eldritch horror spider creature that's on some random planet.
I like that.
And Kylo goes to find him to learn the dark side the way that Palpatine did. Because he wants to become a dark side god, basically. He wants to become a will of the Force, more or less, and be all-powerful.
I always love explaining the will of the wills to people because they're always
and
like,
that's the final fight of Kylo and Rey.
Sure.
That shit would have been lit. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I got you.
Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah. Just.
Oh yeah, that would have been sick.
Would have been nice.
That would have been really dope. On Mortis?
Yes.
Yes.
It was
yes.
The final fight was gonna be on Mortis?
Yes, dude.
And double-sided lightsaber, all black everything Rey against Kylo. Come on, man. Tell me that shit would have been fucking dope.
It would have been sick. That would have been a cool fight.
I'm still not mad at episode 9, but seeing these concept pieces kind of makes me a little bit irritated.
So here's one of my favorite things about the Star Wars community.
Wait a minute, pause.
Force Ghost Luke grabs Kylo's lightsaber in a scene.
I believe it. Welcome to being a Force Ghost. You can do whatever you want. As we saw from the Qui-Gon Jinn novel.
This part, General Hux apparently the entire time has been jealous of Kylo because he always wanted to be a Force user, and he collects lightsabers.
Oh, like
and when he
Grievous.
realizes that he is going to lose the fight on Coruscant, he kills himself with a lightsaber. He literally like wholesale commits seppuku with a lightsaber from his collection.
Nice.
And I'm like, that is so much better of a dignified ending to Hux than like getting fucking blasted
Just
in
getting
the chest.
blasted immediately.
Now, granted, it wasn't as funny.
No. So here's the thing. I never liked Hux as a character.
I mean,
Me neither.
At all.
But
So
I don't
when he
think we're
went-
supposed to.
No. But I mean, it's not even like the aspect of like, oh, you're supposed to hate him. I just never cared for
Oh,
him.
you don't like him at all.
He-
written into the story.
Like literally, he served no point as a character to me in those 3 movies.
Yeah.
Like he just seemed like he was there.
I agree with that because the way I think that he was written in the difference between episode 7 and episode 8 was like I feel in episode 8 we were supposed to get some sort of a rising tension between the two powers that were Hux and Kylo within the First Order.
Yeah.
But it kind of just boiled down to a force choke. The Supreme Leader is dead. All hail the Supreme Leader.
I would have loved if, like, me not giving a shit about Hux for the entire movie, him being like literally the redheaded stepchild to Kylo.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't like him. He's just a dumb wizard. And then you find out that the reason is that he's obsessed with the Force and wishes
that
he
would've-
was Force
that would've been
sensitive.
good. I would've-
Like,
I would've
holy
li-
shit.
I would have liked that.
Yeah.
I
And so
would've
now I'm
liked
kind
that,
of
right?
like, well, fuck. I wish we would have gotten this script.
I get that, but because I didn't enjoy him in the least, him just getting blasted in the chest and going flying across the room, I was like, I
awesome.
saw that and I just went, good. Good.
Also, there's a couple more like pieces here that are interesting to look at. I just want you, Noah, to look at this one because this is like a Facebook background now.
That is
this is
the-
the dreadnought over the skyline of Coruscant.
It's
That's
connected
fucking
to,
horrifying.
It's connected to the ground level of Coruscant, so that they can just come in and out because they're occupying Coruscant. So that giant pillar is literally connecting the ship to ground level, which is nuts.
Yeah.
For those of you at home, you can't see my face, but I went bug-eyed there the minute he said it connected to the ground level, of course.
The ground level, of course.
Because there's a concept art in that gallery where you see the ground level of Coruscant and it's barren. Yeah, it's that one. That's
It's this one.
Coruscant.
Yeah, right here with R2 and C-3PO fucking around. Check it out.
I thought it was Tatooine, man.
No, I believe that because
Yeah.
why would you ever want to be on the ground level of Coruscant?
No, dude.
Like not.
We almost got a
nobody
game
lives-
about that shit.
Literally nobody
Shit.
lives. No. We didn't get a game about that. We got a game
No,
about
we
like.
almost got a game about that.
No, I know that's what I'm saying. But it wasn't the ground level. It was what was it?
1313.
Yeah, level
District.
1313, which is.
I love that
game would have
fucking
been an
shot.
amazing Star Wars game. For those of you at home, go home like get on your computer while you're listening to this podcast because don't pause us.
Don't do it! No! I hope they paused right there.
Rip
But yeah, no,
headphones.
100%. Go and look up Star Wars, the video game Star Wars 1313, because I'm pretty positive that's the name of it.
Yep.
Because
1313.
it was going to be one of, in my opinion, it had the potential to be like the best Star Wars video game to come out because it had nothing to do with anything else. It was just, oh, do you want to play a criminal who's in Coruscant? Welcome to the criminal level of Coruscant. This is level 1313. Everything that's illegal in the galaxy happens on this level.
It was like the spiritual successor to Star Wars Bounty Hunter.
Oh yeah, very
And
close
it was such
But better.
It was a third person action adventure game.
Yeah, RPG, action adventure
RPG. And
Can we talk about Star Wars Republic Commando and how that should have been an ongoing series?
Yes.
I agree. I mean, it was
Agreed.
with books. it
But I
should've-
mean,
it
like,
should've
the
been video game
gameplay of
series.
that,
Yeah,
like,
it
the
should've been
level
video game
building was
series.
so
Yeah.
satisfying.
No, well, I mean, what didn't they had like a few of the guys who designed Doom working on that game, didn't they?
It
Yeah.
felt like Doom 2.
I was going to say, I'm pretty positive a few of the dudes who were on the Doom 3 team worked on that game.
I wonder why it felt like Doom 2.
All right. I'm going to take a step away
From Star Wars?
the galaxy far, far away.
Yep.
And
To
say...
take us to a land old of time filled with elves and dwarves.
I mean,
We're going to
actually...
Middle Earth.
Actually, yes. No, not Middle Earth. But
D&D?
Let me see if I can find this post. Yes. I trust an Instagram account called Lad Bible. It's based out of the UK and it's a magazine, but they run a really funny Instagram account. But they post news on there. And this says...
I think I know where this is going.
The Witcher is reportedly getting a tie-in movie.
Yeah.
Fucking why?
It's getting an animated tie-in movie.
No, it's an anime. It's an anime movie that's going directly to Netflix. It's been confirmed already. Well, no. So from what I understand, what it is it's going to be the time Daryl healed the werewolf, like cured that dude's lycanthropy. Like it's going to be that entire story, which was a short story from the original novel.
So was every episode of The Witcher.
I mean, you're correct.
What I'm saying is why. I feel like we don't need a movie, because video games noticeably can translate into series really well.
Yeah.
They do not translate into movies.
When it's just the one quest line, I feel like it'll be fine.
I feel like they will find a way to fuck it up.
Well, you also heard who's animating it, right?
Mm-mm.
The dudes from Castlevania.
That dude doesn't need to do anything
else but Castlevania.
No, but fucking start working on that goddamn Devil May Cry series, because he got the rights to that.
Oh, I know. Dude,
That shit will be so lit!
Oh, did you... So, side note really quick. Did you play Devil May Cry 5? Or at least, did you watch a playthrough of it?
Yeah. I played a little bit of it, yeah.
Did you see the ending?
Yes.
You mean like... Well, which ending? Because
The
there's like 4 of them.
The actual ending.
Are you talking about where Dante and
Virgil
are fighting endlessly?
No. So the good ending is killer. So I played that and got every ending. So the good ending, the actual ending to the game,
right,
is Nero running towards them as he's like been severely injured. He gets in to fight the two of them. His robo arm that he has, he's run out of them. Like it's destroyed. And like the robo piece on it has like gotten ripped off in combat against like one of the other like copious demons.
Yeah.
And he grows a human hand back because his actual devil powers awaken.
Yes.
And he goes into his own devil trigger. His own full devil trigger, which looks nothing like Virgil or Dante's.
Right.
And it's in that moment where you're like, what?
I don't like the design a lot, honestly.
No, I like it because it's 2 giant hands on his back for wings.
Yes.
It's just Sasuke, but done right.
Fuck.
But it's Sasuke done right. But the reason why I like it is because the wings act as wings, but they're also just arms.
Yeah.
He punches. You can... Once you do that final fight where you play as him, which I'm going to let you know right now, kids, is really awkward to try and get the controls for. Why would you give that to me in the final fight? Mm-hmm. And make me relearn all these controls while I'm fighting Virgil at his full power?
Did you play the first playthrough on the hardest difficulty?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why. Most people probably didn't play the first playthrough on the hardest difficulty. They played it on like the easy one. And then New Game Plus with everything else when they could learn the devil trigger.
But Mal,
I know, I get it.
Why would you do that if you're not going to sit there and get your triple S rating of super sexy stylish?
Oh my fucking fuck. Yeah.
No, that entire fight was killer. And the case in point that he rolls up on Virgil and Dante as they're beating the absolute shit out of each other. And he just
as you do.
And he just runs in the middle of it and punches them both in the face.
And the chest push.
And he punches them both in the face. They are both just like, who do you think you are? And then he just throws them across the rooms. And he just looks at them as he's in his devil trigger. And they're both just like, oh, look who glowed up. It's about time you got here, son. And Dante's just like, well, look at that. The kid got balls. And Virgil's just like, my son, I see you didn't die.
The boy's balls done dropped.
The boy's balls done dropped. He's paying bills in this motherfucker.
To which he just looks at the two of them and he's just like, you're adults. Act like it.
They never. And then at the end of the game, continue to not act like adults.
No. But they do it in the best way possible for those two, which is they just threw the two of them in hell.
Well, yeah, then they just fight.
No, but they're just trying to one up each other. The entire existence in hell after that is just the fucking Gimli Legolas moment of like I got 10, well I got 22.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Like
jackpot. Like, fucking come on, man.
Whips around is like, don't say it. Jackpot.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember how that fucking game ended.
It's good. It's a great ending. I'm really excited for Devil May Cry 6.
But back to the topic at hand.
Yes.
Witcher the movie, The Nightmare of the Wolf.
It's gonna be good. I have.
It's gonna be good. It's just.
Well,
I hope it's good.
So here's what I'll tell you at home.
Do we have anything confirmed about who is it? Are we keeping the same cast, but we're just animating it?
We don't know yet. We don't know yet.
Probably not. And I hope we don't, because some people are good actors and bad voice actors.
You're correct.
And I can only imagine what Henry Cavill would sound like. Well, he's already doing a lot with his voice for this role, so maybe he's fine.
I think he would be fine.
But the actress that plays Yennefer,
I mean, she relies on a lot of body language in her acting, which I love.
yeah,
She does.
so-
I did a little bit of research into the other stuff that she's done, and she's good. But yeah, she's a very heavy body. She's a very heavy physical actress. So I'm not entirely sure how that would translate well into animation.
Who's Yennefer?
Shut up.
Also, sorry.
What I was going to tell you, audience, is when it comes to the three of us, I'm usually the one who's like, I'm sure it'll be fine.
That's fair.
That is fair.
Like that is my personality in this group, like to a T when it comes to like stuff coming out, because I like to have the benefit of doubt on things, unless it's a Netflix original. Unless it's a Netflix a live action adaptation of a series. I'm looking at you, Death Note.
I don't want to talk about that.
We'll be focused.
We already had a good live action Death Note.
We
from
had
Japan.
2 good live action Death Notes.
Yes, we did.
And a great live action fucking
speaking
Full
of Death
Alchemist
Note.
Brother.
Speaking of Death Note, did you guys hear that there's a new volume coming out?
Of Death Note?
Yeah.
Why?
No, it's a side volume.
Does everyone
Okay.
undie?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nier ends up, Ryuk drops the Death Note back on Earth again a few years later.
This asshole.
Just to mess around. Guess who picks it up?
Nier. Probably had a fucking satellite looking for that shit.
Nier picks up the Death Note, and so it's so we don't know what the scenario is going to be, but Nier is going to be able to see Ryuk, and that's going to be a game
He already
changer.
saw Ryuk.
I know, but this is him with the Death Note.
I hope that
I'm very curious.
I hope
as to
he
how
finds
it's
the
gonna function.
Death Note and goes, "Oh, I know what this is," and then puts it away in a lockbox, and comes back and touches it every now and then so it doesn't disappear, but just leaves it there.
I mean,
So
it
Ryuk
doesn't
can get
disappear.
fucked.
Ryuk once Ryuk's put it on Earth, it's not his anymore.
Just set it on fire.
I mean, he can do that.
You can't do that.
That is a thing. That's in the rules. You're allowed to do that.
Interesting thought. I don't know. I kind of like where Noah is the optimist, Mal is the pessimist. I'm kind of the middle ground.
That's not true. You're the pessimist.
How am I the pessimist?
I'm also the pessimist.
Yeah, no, it's one optimist and two pessimists.
Is that the name of the podcast now?
No, that's the name of the first
Two
episode.
pessimists and an optimist.
That's the name of the first episode.
Oh, great, canon.
I guess you're probably a little bit less pessimistic than I am. I just don't want fucking bad content anymore. I feel like nerdness as a culture has got too much money and popularity now to just keep putting out bad content.
You're correct. Do you want to know some really good content that also just got confirmed for a season 2?
Can we finish talking about The Witcher?
Fruits Basket is back. Season 2's coming. That's good content. That's real good content.
I don't know anything about The Witcher. Let's talk about The Witcher. I like Henry Cavill in The Witcher, and I like the choreography in 2 of the episodes. Everything else, I think, was done poorly.
How so?
Welcome to the first book.
No. The way that they filmed it and put it together was done poorly.
No, but have you read the first book?
I understand how the first book functions. I
It's
understand it's
literally
broken
short
up.
stories.
Yes,
I understand that's
the
broken
short
up, but I'm
stories.
saying, no, if it was serialized like it was, that's fine. I'm talking about the way that they told the story of Yennefer,
I like
Ciri, and Witcher,
I love
and jump
that.
back. It's not done well.
I mean, yeah, but I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. So here's the other thing at home, kids. I am a casual watcher when it comes to stuff. I don't sit there and I don't critique it as I go through. One thing you'll know about Mal is Mal actually went and took classes for film school type stuff.
But the internet
So he breaks everything down as he watches
and movie
it.
reviews has made it difficult for me to watch content.
Yes.
And not be,
To give an example, he and I sat there one day and watched Ex Machina, and halfway through the movie he figured out the ending, told me he figured out the ending.
I wrote it down in a note at the time.
Wrote it down in a notebook. The movie ends, and I looked at him, I was like, did you see that coming? And he opens the notebook up, and that was the ending. And I was like, I hate you, because you can't enjoy things anymore.
But, no, that's not true. I do still enjoy things a lot of the time. But that was so fucking messy in The Witcher that, like, there's so many things they could have done to make it a little bit easier to digest. Like,
literally
put a different filter on each of the different sections of time, or a timestamp. Like, any of these things.
Like, or they could have done, even... It would be interesting to see it translated from a book to film, but we've sort of seen that done in Game of Thrones, but literally just put, like, a POV... stamp.
It could have been,
I don't know.
It would have broken... It would definitely have broken up the... It wouldn't have made the transitions as smooth as they were, just because it's like you're transitioning from one character to another. But at the same time, it would have helped because on my second watch through, because I binged it in a day, because I enjoyed The Witcher. But like even on my first watch through, I was like, it wasn't until episode 7 of 8 that I realized what the fuck was going on.
I figured it out. I figured it out the minute Yennefer was confirmed. I was like, oh, this is happening back in time now. I get this.
Okay.
I like this.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was getting that, but it was.
But you read the entire book, did you?
No,
not?
I did not.
But you understood how the time periods of The Witcher worked.
So here's the thing: Yennefer's storyline is never touched on in The Witcher. It's all just hearsay. So the
nothing
fact that
nothing that we see in the Witcher series
that's Yennefer based
concerning Yennefer, we never read that.
That's none of that.
That never happens.
That was all like told later on in points. Of like, oh yes, I came from this small town. Like,
conversations between
it was
Geralt
all conversation
and
pieces that happened later down the line in the books.
That's fine. I still take issue with the fact that if you're going to tell a story like that, where you're jumping in between timelines to tell the story of characters that then converge later on in the story, you have to do it better than they did it.
No, and I can respect that. I'm just, my personal opinion on it is I really enjoyed how they did it. I liked the idea of moving about like that. Was it a little messy? Oh yeah, absolutely.
If they hadn't split, like I wish they hadn't started out with the end of the kingdom, right? And everything's burning. And the queen is like, there's still hope, go get him. And you're like, oh, who is him? And then you don't get an answer to that question until like...
Episode 8.
And it's sort of like...
No,
you're like, what the fuck?
I thought she said in at the end... she told Ciri to go find Geralt.
Yes, but when she's talking to Mousak, she tells Mousak, go get him.
Because he's in the fucking...
Yes.
Yeah. So I
was kind of okay with that, though, because it was like, oh, here's this cliffhanger. I wonder who he is. And then we see the scene where he is...
Right, but if you're going to create cliffhangers and stuff that need payoff, you can't do it fucking... Episodes apart. A season apart. Because
I definitely forgot.
I saw
about
that last
moment.
episode, and they're like, "Go get him," and it was Geralt from the dungeon. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, that did happen. Yeah. Oh, I'm supposed to care about this. No, I don't. You didn't set it up so that the payoff was like, it was Geralt the whole time. Like, no, man, fucking."
So like the way that the
I'm not saying I hated the series. I think it was done. It was shot beautifully. I think the writing. The dialogue was done well. The choreography was fucking bomb ass. The effects were bomb ass. Henry Cavill is probably... I can't even think of anyone else as Geralt now. He is just Geralt with Rivia. Toss a coin to your Witcher is a banger. But the way they set up the writing of the story just fucked me up.
I agree with that, and it was a decision made by the direction to make sure to have all three of those characters' stories start at the same time as each other to introduce us to the three main characters of the series, which I appreciate it to a certain degree because of my pettiness towards certain members of the Witcher fandom, specifically the Trissers.
The Trissers? Whoa.
I mean, it's accurate.
I'm kidding.
Remember, you used to be one.
I still fucking love Triss. Hashtag not my Triss. But here's what's up. And I just need to drop this in. I don't like that Triss because I love the video game Triss. It's fine. If you're on the internet and you're making racist comments about an actress because she's of color,
fuck you.
Because you're the same because she doesn't look like the white character in the story. Yes, they changed it, and yes, that can upset you, but that is no excuse to be a fucking racist piece of shit. So that's just like baseline. But also still not my Triss. You know, she didn't shoot enough fireballs.
Well, I mean,
this
is also early Triss.
Yeah, this is also early Triss. She becomes
true.
the fire sorceress later on.
Yeah.
But like, it was. I think I agree with you. I think that like was very odd to see the payoff episodes apart from certain things. Mm-hmm. Like, it made a little bit of sense to have Yennefer and Geralt start at the same time, but at the same time, because their storylines don't connect until The Last Wish. So, like, anything that they're doing outside of each other is kind of negligible in terms of time, because we don't know the distance of time between Geralt going from one job to the next.
Right.
I mean, except for the point where Dandelion literally looks at him in The Last Wish and he goes, "Geralt of Rivia, how long's it been? 10 years?"
Yeah.
And you're like, oh!
Right.
Yeah, which is also like a weird drawing. And there's a moment in episode 1 that also breaks apart the whole, like, which is their idea of, like, taking the ice pick and, like, shattering the concept that you have of, like, linear timelines and saying that this isn't happening at the same time. Because Renfrey says Queen Calanthe of Sintra just won her first battle.
Yeah,
and like in the midst of that episode, and that's a huge fucking deal because she's like supposed to be 19, and the entire time we're seeing Queen Calanthe as like
a grown ass
woman.
Well, I mean, technically, you figure out that there are separate timelines. Literally at the beginning of the second episode, right after you watch Queen Calanthe jump off of her fucking window in the first episode, and in the second episode, she's alive and doing shit.
Yeah,
and you're like, wait, what? And then you realize that it's like going back in time, but it felt like a weird ass flashback that lasted too long instead of a timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which I think the development could have been. I think it was very interesting. My feelings about The Witcher is I enjoyed the series, obviously, but when I was watching The Witcher, I was also like I had also just finished watching HBO's Watchmen, so I was used to this like the circular time.
I still haven't
like timelines and shit. One. So it's very good. It's very good.
I mean, I'll watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
Jeremy Irons should be the only person to have ever played Ozymandias, ever in the history of anything. This man is a monster. But I was already kind of used to that, but at the same time, I did think that I didn't get as hype as I felt I could have gotten when we got the flashback, when we came back to like Sintra under siege, and Calanthe's tells Mousak to go find him, and then the camera just like pans down to the dungeon and it's Geralt. I was like, oh, yeah, it was just kind of like I felt like
that moment could have been like, oh, shit, but it didn't. I wanted it to be that.
It meant to be an oh, shit, but the way that it built, maybe it was just you and me, but like, did you have the oh, shit moment?
I had the oh, shit moment.
Okay, I mean, that's fair, though.
So then if it was effective, then it was effective. It was just kind of like...
I was like, because it was the case point where like, it panned down and I was like, oh, Ciri's on fucked up. Was like my thought process. The minute I saw Geralt down there, I was like, they were taking her down to the dungeon. I get it now. They were gonna free him and then be like, go take your surrogate daughter and leave.
Yeah.
And she was like, nope, all of my best friends are now dead. I'm running.
Yeah, so I mean I think I had a similar feeling because the moment that I saw that, it wasn't an oh shit, it was an oh, that's a cool moment to allude back to, because then we run it back with Mousak when he comes back and he's like, he's gone. And then all I could really think about at that moment was all of Ciri's bullshit that she's been dealing with this entire season could have been completely mitigated if a motherfucker hadn't... Why do you fuck with Geralt of Rivia?
Okay, so I just didn't like...
If they had just let Geralt take her, rather than being like, here is this girl, this is Ciri, and Geralt's like, that's not her. Why are you bullshitting me?
Yeah. My issue is really just...
Somebody caught an attitude. And
that fucking...
accurate.
I could have done without most of Ciri's plot.
Well, we don't get that.
Right? Well, so no, but what I'm saying is, what if we took Ciri and Queen Calanthe's timeline and pushed it forward so that instead of, like, having Queen Calanthe's death at the beginning, you have it, like, closer towards the end or the middle of the series, so you don't have to. So I don't have to watch Ciri running around in the woods with little black elf boy, fucking getting into shenanigans. Like that shit's not interesting to me. Give me more Geralt fucking bitches and killing monsters. Goddamn it.
So here's the thing though that you should know, which is that where Geralt meets Ciri at the end of that series is not where he meets her in the books. Geralt pulls her out of the forest of Brooklyn.
Where Mousesack shows up again, and she's like with the dryads.
Fake Mousesack, yeah.
Yeah, with fake Mousesack.
With fake
That
Mousesack.
was
that was supposed to be Geralt.
That was supposed to be where Geralt rolls up and is like, "I'm Geralt of Rivia," and like grabs her from it. And the only reason, but the big thing though is that the waters don't affect Ciri. That's supposed to be our first real reference as to how powerful Ciri actually is as a being.
Yes,
is that the waters do not affect her. The waters that wipe the minds of everyone who drink it have no effect on her.
Which plays into the entire plot of The Witcher 3 with her elder blood.
Right.
Yeah.
Because again,
she's the
Ciri and
the traitor.
Because Ciri and Geralt are like the main characters of The Witcher,
yes.
as you know. So I thought it was interesting that they chose to give such a shit about Yennefer. Don't get me wrong.
See, okay, so of the three people sitting at the table, I know the least about the lore of The Witcher. So probably the biggest oh shit moment for me was that Princess Cirilla went clean over my fucking head.
Yeah.
Right? So I played The Witcher 3 and I was like, oh, this is Ciri. She's the hot white-haired bitch. Like, it's fine. Like, that's waifu. But, they're like, this is Princess Cirilla. I'm like, why the fuck is this little bitch important? Like, I don't care. Like, she's a princess and she screams and, cool shit happens. And then, at episode 4, someone calls her Ciri and I was like, oh... I'm dumb as fuck.
Yeah, you are.
I am so stupid for this shit.
You know what? No. You know, the little white hair girl she's got a whole plot line focusing around her.
I'm like, what the fuck is wrong?
Geralt and
Cirilla. You're treating her like she's a fucking main character. Who the fuck is Cirilla?
Cirilla.
It's like when I was a little kid and I was like, Mom, can we have McDonald's? And she was like, yeah, I think we can get some Mickey D's. And I cried because I didn't fucking want Mickey D's. I wanted McDonald's because I didn't know. But whatever,
it's
man.
Up there with the Mike and Ike's.
I'm not always the smartest fella, so whatever.
No, I mean,
fuck it.
I think it was interesting. I honestly could have gone for introducing Ciri and Queen Calanthe, the whole Sintra arc in the last episodes, the last 2 or 3 episodes of the season, and dedicated the first 5 episodes to literally just Geralt. And throwing in Yennefer is fine too. I love.
Right.
I love that dynamic. Literally, I rewatched the scene during the dragon hunt when the two of them were together and they were basically burying the fucking beef that the two of them had. Yeah. And when he was just like, what is it that you ever wanted? And what did you want before you became this? And she's like, I wanted to be important to somebody. And then as he's falling asleep, he says, you're important to me. Yeah. That hit me.
That's what I'm saying. The dialogue in this fucking show is great. There's just other parts that fucking underdid it for me. So here's one of the things I was like, for most of the series, you get character development, especially in that one episode with Queen Calanthe and her learning about destiny and her learning to respect destiny and people and not judge books by their covers. And the whole time I'm thinking, I don't give a fuck because you die. Mm-hmm. And so that's tough. It's tough to make me care about a character when I already know. It's like if we opened Star Wars Episode 1 with Qui-Gon getting stabbed in the chest, I probably wouldn't give a fuck about him for the first part of the movie, for the rest of the movie. You know what I mean? So
unless there was some, unless some epic pathos was running through that entire movie to make Qui-Gon look like the most golden-hearted motherfucker, right? But yeah, I agree with you on that regard because it definitely was.
I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying it's difficult to sell emotional payoff like that. Mm-hmm. So
I mean, here's my thing though. Even at the end of it, I don't think that emotional payoff actually happens with Queen Calanthe and her learning to respect destiny because
she does it.
She still does it. That's the thing. Her character is supposed to be the non-believer in this world. Yes. That's her entire character arc is to be effectively the antagonist to destiny. She literally states throughout the entire point. She's like, destiny's not real. Why should I have to like, to quote her, why should I have to follow the laws of men who've never even carried a child?
Right.
Like that's a great line, right? Like why do I need to follow the rules of men who've never even gone through the ability
the
of, like,
representation in this series was great too. I'm just
so
throwing
good.
that
I
out
agree.
there.
The representation in the series.
Oh yeah.
But, like,
Go on.
Yeah.
Explain to me how things work.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah, she gets him a couple times.
oh yeah, but like Queen Calanthe, her whole thing is like Destiny's not real. Destiny's not an actual thing. Why should I believe in Destiny when Destiny took my husband away? When Destiny put me on the throne? When Destiny did this? Why should I allow Destiny to take my daughter?
Right.
Like all this other stuff.
And I
like,
get
blah,
it.
blah, blah, blah.
And the thing is,
and her
the themes in the show are also great.
yeah.
I think that my only problem is the way that it was portrayed. And I feel like it was messy. And for some reason, that makes it hard to, like, think of the other stuff. I don't know.
My only thought process during that entire thing was she's doing some... I agree with you, actually, on that note, Noah, that she is, like, the antagonist to Destiny, because even after this whole thing happens and what happens to Dooney and... Princess
Dooney.
Look, man, I know you're not as familiar with the Witcher lore as I am, but with the moment that I saw his, because I'm trying to piece it together with the way that they portrayed it and what I've read and what I've listened to and what I've played, and when I made the fucking connection, because the tough connection for me, because when you start looking into any, like, well-developed fantasy lore,
Yep.
it is tough, and this is one of the things that turns a lot of people off of a lot of fantasy genres.
Yeah.
I think more so than sci-fi, because I don't see a whole lot of sci-fi really dealing with this as much, but, like, I was raised on the Lord of the Rings. I read the Silmarillion when I was a freshman in high school. Like, getting all of those names, like, rocketed at my fucking noggin, like, repeatedly until I, like, realized who the fuck was who and who was related to who and shit is just fucking weird. So, like, you know, it became second nature for me. But even so, that was with Lord of the Rings, and that was what I was comfortable with. When I jumped into The Witcher and I started learning all of that shit and so on and so forth, it took me a second to make the connection of who the fuck Dooney is.
Like, actually is.
Like, who he actually
do you know
is.
who Dooney actually is?
I'm just saying, Noah, all I was sitting there, all I was doing when I realized who the fuck Dooney was, especially when the hedgehog came down and it was the guy, I was like, I sided with him in The Witcher 3.
So, Dooney is actually
the
Emir
Emperor
von
of
Emrys.
The Emperor of Nilfgaard.
Because he's the actual legitimate son to the original emperor. The guy we see who's, like, there at the banquet for the marriage proposal banquet
Nilfgaard,
Nilfgaard is the usurper's son.
So
That's
the
usurper.
hedgehog dude.
The hedgehog is the actual heir to Nilfgaard. The reason he's a hedgehog is because the wizard who existed, the court wizard to the usurper,
right?
Rather than killing him, turned him into a hedgehog, because in Nilfgaardian, the word for coward is the same word for hedgehog. So he ran from the final fight, so they turned him into a hedgehog. They cursed him to be turned into a hedgehog, and then threw him out in the world. They're like, you'll never survive. Have fun trying to come back here. Only for him to be accepted by somebody, that acceptance to be reciprocated, and the blessing to be given for his love, which breaks the curse,
right?
Turning him back into a man. He then marries into the elder blood,
right?
Produces a child of the elder blood, and his whole thing, the reason why Ciri's parents are dead,
right,
is because he plotted it.
He's Ciri's father.
He's Ciri's father.
Right.
So the guy we see riding around hunting Ciri down the entire time is her dad. She doesn't know what he looks like. She was a child, a small girl when he died. She doesn't remember what he looks like anymore.
Hold on, quick pin.
Okay,
That's
so
not-
spoilers for season 2 of The Witcher, I
Yeah.
guess.
Hang on. No. Hold on. I gotta clean something up here.
Those books came out in the early 2000s. It's been 20 years.
Hold on. I gotta clean something up
I
here.
still don't know who killed Dumbledore, so.
Chill, Siri. I gotta clean something up here. The guy who is hunting her down.
Yeah.
The guy who is hunting her down is not her father.
Are you positive?
Yes, because it's a guy. His name is Yahir or something
yeah,
like.
you're right,
Yahir. Every time they mention like the true king of the true emperor of Nilfgaard, they're referring to Emir.
Okay.
Yahir, who is the blonde-haired kid with the raindrop face, who is the expert with a bow and shit,
Right.
is like his loyal right hand.
Okay.
The zealot of his generals.
This is the man who believes entirely in the Lord of the Holy Fire.
The Holy Fire, the R'hllor.
Yeah.
Not R'hllor, but
Not
R'hllor.
R'hllor. But so the big thing is that
The Red God.
Emir goes and he creates an entire. He again, spoilers for the Witcher. Books, which have existed for the last 20 years. You were the sword wizard, the sword sorcerer.
Yes.
Yeah, he's working with Emir. He's been working with Emir from the beginning.
So he's a traitor, basically.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
He's a traitor to the Northern Kingdoms, and
He's a
that's if
traitor
you
to the
give a
Northern
shit.
Kingdoms.
If
Yeah,
you give a shit about the political climate of The Witcher.
But so the thing is,
I say that knowing I have at least 3 friends who may or may not listen to this that will just be like pounding their pints on the table going, "For Temeria!" Like,
where were you all saying that when Rivia was under siege?
Ooh, spicy.
Just saying, kids. But no. So the whole thing is that guy, the mage that Emir works with, was on the boat with them.
Not Strigobor.
Was on the boat with them, and he had him create a storm to make it look like the ship sank, and then he was supposed to teleport the ship into Nilfgaard's waters.
Oh.
And then take Emir, his wife, and Ciri to be the new Nilfgaard royal family.
Oh my fucking god.
And then Ciri's mom fell off the boat.
Because she
and died.
She found out some fucked up shit that Emir was gonna do with Ciri, but like.
And so she ends up killing herself by jumping off the boat.
Right.
And so she dies in the water. Emir's the only one who's teleported away because Queen Calanthe didn't want Ciri going on the boat. She had a bad feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So Queen Calanthe kept Ciri.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So
now they're just separated.
So now they're just separated, okay. And so the entire thing is Emir trying to get Ciri back. Also, Emir plotted the entire thing. He found Queen Calanthe's husband in the woods. Tracked him down and found him and then healed him. And then made him do the entire thing because he knew that his wife was pregnant. So when he was like, yes, I will enact the law of surprise. Mm-hmm. Because he was
which is such a ridiculous fucking thing.
I love the law of surprise. I'm using it in every role-playing game from now on.
That shit is goofy as fuck.
I love it.
That shit is goofy as fuck.
I love it.
Dude,
so,
it's even... Hold on. Put a pin because I want you to continue. Yeah. But listen, you don't understand how goofy the law of surprise is until you look in the book. Literally... Witchers need to stop invoking the law of surprise. They always end up with a fucking kid. Every single time.
Why would you fucking
Eskel invoked the law of surprise. It turned out for whatever. I don't remember whatever monster he killed. Maybe it was a werewolf. But he comes back to Kaer Morhen, the wolf school headquarters after a few years and finds this fucking baby in Vesemir's arms. He's like, apparently this is yours.
Oh my.
And he's like, nah. And so he would stop coming home. It's
because people just ship their law of surprise to the wolf school. They would just ship it to Kaer Morhen. And so Eskel just quit coming home.
He would take the longest fucking route because he's like, I'm not dealing with this baby.
Because he just the baby, but it's the kids in Morhen. What's he gonna do? He's gonna raise the baby, just throw him through the trial of the grasses.
And
they're
not gonna make it.
Yeah, and they won't make it.
And that's one of Eskel's biggest things. He fucking is. He is truly a pessimist of life.
Yeah.
Especially with people the bright-eyed kids coming to the Witcher school I'm gonna be a Witcher. It's
You're
1, 2,
die.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're dead. Like
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's 7 of you. None of you will live.
none of you are gonna make it.
7 out of 10 kids die trying to do the trial of the grasses, which is how you become a witcher genetically. But yeah, no. So it's the entire case in point of like Emir is his whole plot is to just get Ciri back, and it's because Ciri is supposedly supposed to be the strongest, like resounding version of the elder blood.
The strongest concentration.
The strongest concentration of the elder blood, and so what he wants to do is he wants to effectively use her as a plot device to just rule the entire world. Because it's,
right.
What are you going to do? I have the Lady of Space and Time on my side.
Yes. He's got a nuke.
The biggest nuke the Northern Kingdoms and the Southern Kingdoms have ever seen.
Okay, so have you heard that this possible Easter egg, this is a fucking thing?
Yes, and I'm so fucking hype about it.
The fucking cyberpunk one?
Yeah.
Oh, not.
So basically...
Oh, tell this man.
So basically, in the books... In the books from the game,
In Witcher 3,
Ciri talks about how she's traveled through different dimensions, right?
Yeah.
Like space and time, and she references basically like, and there's a dimension where like
people have metal in their
cars,
eyes.
and shit like that. And
And
the
fight from a
implication is
distance.
because it's the same studio, Ciri's gonna pop up as an Easter egg in Cyberpunk 2077.
That would be so good if that actually happens.
Like, holy shit!
That'd be really fun. I'd be very okay with that. I'd be very okay with that if it was just one very quick like side mission.
Yeah,
And, like,
or she was just in a market someplace.
Yeah,
I'd be okay if you're walking, you're literally like Red Dead Redemption 2, like you're kind of like moving your way through like a warehouse like district or something like that, and all of a sudden there's like a flash of green light, and you like turn around the corner, and there's just like this ashen-haired chick with a sword on her back that like looks confused and then just does it again.
Yeah,
and is gone. And I was like,
I would. Oh my god, I would lose my mind.
well, it's like one of my favorite.
Wifey! Wait, no, I would like run into the alley, try to clip through the fucking wall, like.
I mean, welcome to Easter eggs. They're always great. Like case in point, one of my favorite Easter eggs is in Skyrim. If you go to the very top of the biggest mountain, there's a pickaxe just stuck in the side. It's an unbreakable pickaxe, and it's Notch's pickaxe, which is a reference to the creator of Minecraft.
Oh yeah, there's
like it's so like it's just such a dumb like fun Easter egg.
The portal Easter egg that's in but it's not BioShock. The other one, Desert Wasteland, Nuketown. Not Newtown.
Fallout.
Yeah.
Where you're walking around, you can find the robot companion from Portal 2 just laying in the ground.
Yeah.
And he'll talk to you like.
He's
actually
like,
he's a quest item.
He is. He's a quest item, and it's in Fallout 3. Yeah, it's in Fallout 3 because that would never have been able to be allowed in Fallout 4.
Speaking of video games. We have Cyberpunk. We have God of War 2.
So except for God of War 2.
Everything's getting pushed back.
Yeah,
that's
like
kind
everything.
That's kind of the name of the game. And you know what I think it is? Honestly, I think it's a on the developers' side of things. It's the fear because I wouldn't say 2019 was like a bad year for games.
No.
A bad year for anime games.
2019 was a bad year for developers. So I will give you all a heads up. My day job, my boss, is a former professional game dev. I hear everything that happens because of her because she is still friends with tons of people. She has like 7 friends that work.
We had 76. I forgot about 76. That all work
for. Yeah, we don't talk about 76. It doesn't exist. What do you mean?
It exists.
No, it doesn't. That's not a real game, Arden. That's a fever dream.
It happened. Someday you're gonna have to come to terms with it.
No, it's a fever dream. But no, like so she had several friends in, I believe it was Bethesda, actually. Yeah, it was Bethesda. In Bethesda, who were all women who were treated incredibly poorly in the workplace and were all fired for no reason. Literally no reason other than the fact that they were like, "Hey, this is harassment. I don't like it." And the higher ups were just like, "Cool. you're out. And that happened all year last year. But the thing is that people just started outing them for it.
Oh, well, there you go.
Everywhere. So the reason every one of these games is getting pushed back is because
their dev teams are disappearing.
Well, their dev teams are disappearing, but then on top of it, everybody knows now.
Yeah.
Because of social media. Like we live in an era where it's like, yeah, my working environment is literally toxic.
That's fucked.
And it just goes online. Like you can't control that anymore. PR is not controllable anymore.
And it shouldn't be. It's fucked up that companies that big don't have more sense than to fucking say that shit is wrong. To side with the wrong side in situations like that. That's really fucking stupid on their part.
I agree with you, but the thing is that they don't actually care about their employees. They only care about their profit margins.
They're a company, and I understand. I don't expect them to care about their employees.
Yes.
But common sense would tell you that it's bad for business to be seen as a fucking prick and a sexist.
Yes, but the thing is that beforehand nobody spoke about it. So this is just becoming ingrained in the higher ranking aspects of it. People will literally you would be surprised at how many dudes just get fired because they're like, I can't come into work today. Well, why? Because I've already worked 76 hours this week and I'm dying.
Yeah.
I'm literally in the hospital and they're like, well, if you don't show up to work today,
that's your job.
You're
that's
fired.
Fucked, man.
You're fired. And it's like, well, people were leaving the hospital to come back to work, Mal. That is why every one of these games is getting pushed back, because every one of these dev teams, all of the companies behind them are like, oh, people know now. Oh, we can't not delay these games now. A good case in point is look at the Kingdom Hearts team. They realized our original engine is not going to get us anywhere. We need to scrap everything and redo all of this on the Unreal Engine 4 to be able to put this game out on time.
Well, now I think they're worrying about, like I said before, PS5.
Oh yeah.
Coming on Christmas. They said close to Christmas, and they're basically like, well, we have all these games that are halfway through development. Do we just wait and release them on PS4 and 5, or do we do
we just delay them even further and just release them on 5?
I was gonna say new decade, not only new year but new decade. Who's gonna have the big stinker that starts the decade?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
that was my fear. I was like, no, because Bethesda's still fucking reeling from that game that Noah refuses to admit actually happened. Ubisoft hasn't put out anything garbage.
So here's the thing is, all of the last big games that were supposed to come out sort of all tanked. So you have Destiny tanked.
Destiny tanked. So
we've had a year. Yeah, we've had a year of the fucking microtransactions when it comes to Star Wars and shit.
EA.
We had
Bethesda with 76.
76 was the Anthem. Anthem was supposed to be BioWare. Their game, and that tanked.
No, just BioWare. Period. Literally BioWare.
BioWare fucking collapsed.
Just BioWare. Period. BioWare were the kings of role playing games for the longest time.
Yeah.
And then
the only thing keeping them afloat right now, and it's shocking for me to say this, and I'm honestly hurt about it because of I love BioWare because of the original Mass Effects and Dragon Age. Those are my fucking games.
And Star Wars.
And that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
SWTOR is the only thing keeping them alive right now.
Oh, I told you I met two of the guys on the dev team for SWTOR, right?
Yeah, you did.
There's big stuff coming out later this year.
I will do everything that I can to find that account, because I'm not playing without my fucking...
I know. I believe you.
OG
I understand.
account.
I'm just letting you know.
That's dope, though.
They literally looked at me and they were like, oh, your friends are longtime fans? I was like, oh yeah, no, they've played through everything. Your cinematics are always amazing, blah, 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 blah. And they were like, solid, cool. All we can, we're just going to tell you this. All I can tell you is we have some really big announcements coming out later this year. And
so Noah's job is fucking weird, but
I buy and sell trading cards at major conventions.
You come through sometimes with some like real good nuggets of shit.
Well, you just meet dudes at these events.
Yeah.
The dudes just had SWOTOR shirts on.
People
And I was like, I like your shirts, and they're like, yeah, we work for the company. I was like,
people who are professional fucking nerds.
Yeah.
Like their fun time is
trading cards.
Like Magic the Gathering. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it.
I mean, I meant
again. That's the list of companies. Ubisoft hasn't done anything. Like honestly, Ubisoft is on the rise. Just because of like
the only company
they're not releasing yearly Assassin's Creed titles.
Because they're not releasing yearly Assassin's Creed titles that are rushed and garbage. Their online community is solid. With fucking, I say solid when I talk about Rainbow Six, but it's present.
Toxic.
It's toxic.
Fucking toxic. But the thing is, with fucking Rainbow Six, they do so much for their community.
Yeah, they do.
For their content creators, making Rainbow Six conventions, letting you meet the people. The fucking Rainbow Six event where fucking Lil Yachty played T-Pain.
That was so good.
That's a thing that they did for their... So, I mean, they're reaching out. I think the only company, other than them, that really didn't shit the bed last year was fucking Nintendo. And that's because the Switch is a goddamn powerhouse.
Well, Nintendo never shits the bed.
That, like, fucking...
even when they do shit the bed, they're like...
Do you want our shit? And you're like,
yeah,
give me that shit.
Well, case in point, greatest case in point ever, the Wii U.
But to say the Wii U, Wii U,
the biggest shit in the bed Nintendo has ever had, right?
Has ever done.
Do you know what sold the Wii U?
Smash.
Fucking Zelda.
Amiibos.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And then they came out.
The fact that they're selling people fucking toys, and people are like, yeah, I want this shit.
Yeah, I want them. Yeah, give me the tiny statue of Link with the Master Sword, please. Yeah.
Oh my fucking god!
They released an entire line that was just Animal Crossing, and people lost their minds.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't know why people don't get, because they've been doing it for years. Like it draws back to when you had fucking the little, what is it, scanners on your phone, and when you went to Walmart with your mom, you got a new monster for every fucking barcode code you scanned.
That wasn't on your phone, brother. That was a toy.
That was a toy.
Scanners.
That's what I meant to say. But I'm like, every time you get an amiibo and you put it on your fucking shit, like you get a new thing in the game.
Yeah.
Like it's very simple.
I mean, like,
it's very simple.
It's like a solid business plan.
Yoshi's Woolly World was insane. You could take any Yoshi like amiibo, you could put it on there and you get a new skin for it. But then people were like, well, I wonder if that's the case in point with my other amiibos. So somebody went and they grabbed a Mario amiibo, put the Mario amiibo on. They got a Mario skin for their Yoshi. Most terrifying thing in the world. Mario's face is right here on Yoshi's nose. It's right on the front of Yoshi's nose. So the minute he turns to look at the screen, it's just Mario's face, and you're like, I don't like that.
But they sold.
They did.
The point is that they sold.
Well, like Super Smash Bros. Like Smash 4, Smash 4's amiibo support. Literally take your favorite playable character, put an amiibo on it. It saves your battle data onto it, and then it's a character you can fight against and train against yourself. That's mind blowing.
They're literally, shout out to Alpharad. That is an amazing YouTube channel, and Alpharad Plus. He has fucking amiibo tournaments, amiibo invitationals. Right? Where you're taking an amiibo that you've trained and having it fight other amiibos that you've trained. Like, that's fucking nuts.
Have you heard of the amiibo deathmatch? The amiibo death tournaments?
No.
Oh my god. Okay, so it's the same thing.
Yes.
Like super giant, like giant term amiibo tournaments. You train your amiibo for months once you're invited to this tournament. If your amiibo loses, it gets destroyed.
Oh my god! They melt it down?
No. They have different kill techniques for every amiibo that gets killed. So like they bring like tiny guillotines and things like that, the big thing though is like it's like cool. We can destroy the toy on it all we want. That's not your actual amiibo.
Yeah,
and then at the end of it, they rip the toy off of the base, put the base down, and then smash it with a hammer.
They literally destroy your save data.
Destroy your save data.
That's fucked up.
And it's a cash.
We're sending Pokemon to the Shadow Realm, bro.
And it's a cash prize, my dude.
Oh my fucking.
Go home and look up the amiibo death tournaments. They're amazing. One dude just gets a blowtorch put to his like Martha amiibo and it just gets melted all the way down, and the dude just holds it over the thing, and you just see the flame go through the base, and you just can hear the microchip in it just crackling from the heat as it just fries it, and they just go, goodbye, and they like throw them in a trash
And
can
you
after.
wonder why the fucking robots and the AI are gonna fucking revolt. We're just using them for death battles now and then destroying their minds.
Brother, we have been using them for death battles for years.
Okay, so here's the fucking thing.
Hang on a second. Let me. So, rounding out that topic, because basically every like major publisher and game developer has shit the bed in some way, shape, or form in the past 2 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, moving into this next decade and this new year, it's going to be, like, I'm sure there's a hesitation, as well as, like, with the PS5 coming out, with the new Xbox coming... Xbox Red? What is it?
Xbox.
It's called, I think it's called Project Red right now.
Yeah,
they don't have the name for it.
They don't have a name for it.
But that's the process. The name for it's like the Xbox One something. Yeah, but yes.
Well, no, I was going to say, I don't think they've officially given a name for it yet.
Regardless, like, people are unsure about, like, the landscape that gaming is going to be in the next decade, and people are trying to figure out what that is. However, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I got to give a shout out to the Russian Badger, because Doom Eternal, I might have to fucking get in on Doom Eternal.
I'm getting Doom Eternal.
That shit
sounds
looks
like it sounds like
so
a fucking dub game.
fucking good.
Dude, the big thing is, you're playing the Marine, right? Like, you're playing Doom Guy in this game.
Yeah.
But you're playing Doom Guy as the, like, more than just, like, the typical, like, you're the last bastion for humanity. It's, no, you're sided with what are effectively the angels, the opposing alien race to the hell demons.
Yeah.
And they're literally, like, I think one of them is supposed to be, like, Michael.
Yeah. No, you actually
And,
fight
like-
in heaven and hell in this
yeah,
one.
like, you're fighting in both, like, the planet of heaven and the planet of hell. Like, you're doing it.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this game from the aspect of, like, and heaven is the one backing you this time. And they're,
Right.
And they're just giving you any weapon you need, and they're just like, do it, Doom Guy.
They're
And
giving
Doom
you so much random shit.
Doom Guy's just, like, solid.
Russian Badger, please look him up. Please give him support. Put out a video. His most recent video was he got to play Doom Eternal. He got to play Doom Eternal early with Ubisoft, and I think he does good videos, and I think he's getting back into his swing now. But that is like prime Russian Badger, and he does such a good job about that fucking game.
That's a fucking funny ass video.
That's so fucking funny. That brings me back to the original fucking Space Marines video.
Oh yeah.
Cease your heresy!
Ooh. I wish you guys could see the waveform on that one.
brother, I'm stuck in the
I
terrain.
have been here.
Rip fucking headphone users.
I am stuck in the terrain.
What is it? An enemy without cover is without victory, brother. No, man.
We need to go back to brother.
See, so what's fucked up is that, like, out of all of the games that have tanked and all of the games that have died off, like Destiny and Destiny 2 and, like, all that fucking shit, Fortnite's still going strong.
That doesn't surprise me. It's a free game.
I'm so mad at
Right, but, like, it's still making, like, money hand over fist.
I'm very mad at Fortnite.
So
Kids love free shit.
here's what's fucked up, right?
Yes.
So the companies are doing a lot right now because they realize that their best form of marketing are fucking Let's Players.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. So they started out with support your creator tags, where you log into the game, you say, like,
Content creator.
yeah,
codes.
this is my content creator, I love him, send him support, whatever. And they give him, like, in-game currency or what the fuck ever.
Which can buy
In-game stuff.
In-game cosmetic stuff.
Right. Ninja has a skin in the game.
Of himself.
Of himself, yeah.
I saw
Of
that.
himself.
Yep.
That shit is mind-blowing to me.
Yep.
Like, and I almost want to say that we've gone too far as game developers are concerned with, like, letting the content creators influence a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, on one hand, I'm like, goddamn, that's cool as fuck. Like, this guy's a YouTuber, and he has been so influenced. Well, he's not a Twitch streamer anymore. What's that other fucking service?
Oh yeah, didn't he get kicked off Twitch?
I don't think he got kicked off Twitch. I think he was like, I'm leaving Twitch to go to this other streaming service that he, like, is helping start and shit. I don't fucking care. It's Ninja.
Okay, it's not Twitch.
But, like,
Yeah.
this is like a fucking thing that's happening.
Like,
and,
I wanna be
I don't know
happy.
how to feel about it.
I want to be happy for Ninja, and there's a part of me that is happy for Ninja, but I can't be, like, fully invested in it. And I'm sorry, you might never hear this, but fuck it. I can't be fully invested in it just because it is Fortnite. and my own feelings towards that game. And I agree with you that I like, where do we draw the line, and not trying to get like philosophical and shit at all. But like, I'm kind of upset with Fortnite just because I have students that play Fortnite and make constant references to Fortnite memes. But like, the fact that here we come full circle, the fact that Fortnite is no longer considered a game, it is a experience. Like, they're trying to Disneyify it in terms of like, Disney doesn't have a theme parks, it has experiences.
Fortnite is no longer just like a game. It's like it doesn't. They like stop being like
it's a subculture at this point.
They're like, it's not like, oh, this is like Fortnite and this is how we're gonna have the game, and this, it's not just like a battle royale anymore. No. It's like a melee game now, or it's an adventure game now, or it's like all of this fucking shit. Like, they just added split screen to Fortnite, like old school split screen. Yeah. Like, you and your friend sitting on the couch
can split screen Fortnite.
Splits like two, and I'm like, this game has fucking gone crazy.
And well, it's gone even worse because I don't know. I'm assuming you know this. I'm pretty sure you know this. But Marshmello had a concert on Fortnite.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
And then furthermore, which I watched something about that, and obviously it wasn't live, but it was just like a thing that happened, and like people got ported into different servers, and it was like this big experience that was supposed to showcase the new age of Fortnite.
It was like, it was just like the end of Fortnite was.
Yeah, but the thing that really rubbed me the wrong way is the fact that a week before Star Wars Episode 9 came out, chill out, a week before that happened, Fortnite had an event. Mm-hmm. They had an event that was being hosted by J.J. Abrams, who was an avatar in Fortnite.
Yeah.
And the beginning, if anyone who has seen the what the fuck is that called? The Rise of Skywalker, the first line in the title crawl is "Death Speaks." Mm-hmm. That message that Emperor Palpatine like sent across the galaxy was broadcasted in Fortnite, like exclusively.
And here's the other thing. It also wasn't advertised.
Not at all.
Yeah, no, none of it was.
Like, like you just had to be playing that day.
And the fucked up part is they've been doing that with a lot of their events to incentivize the fact that you should be playing Fortnite all the time. That's nuts to me. Mm-hmm. Like, and Ninja's like bigger than a fucking gamer at this point. Like, Ninja is the gamer now, right? He's got I don't like him either, but he is like...
I think he's a tool.
He is, okay, we're all here now? Fuck your haircut, bro. Fuck your fit.
I don't know him like that. I've never watched any of his content. From what I've seen, he's super annoying. I think he said some controversial shit in the past. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. The point is, this dude is like
that's why he got kicked off Twitch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive he got kicked off Twitch because he said some really fucked up shit.
Well, the thing is, like, that motherfucker... He's got his own shoe deal. Uh-huh. He's got ninja shoes. Mm-hmm. That's like fucking crazy to me. Like, it's like a whole new fucking world of game shit right now.
He is the individual, like, he is the like proverbial Twitch dream, right? Of like getting that big.
Yes.
I also hate him because, like, as an individual who streams every now and then, it's not a strong word with what I'm about to say. As a guy who streams every now and then, and as a guy who has tons of friends who are streamers, like that's like that they want to become full-time streamers. Like, they work at GameStop and then they stream when they come home and they stream for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Like things like that. Like, I know so many people who do that and their view count isn't that high. And it's not because their content's not good. Like, their content is great. It's because everybody's like, why would I go watch this guy when I can go watch Ninja? Or when I can go watch this other individual who has like a million things.
Welcome to capitalism.
I mean, well, and that's
I wouldn't
that's
say
a lot to be.
Well, that's like
it's the competition.
But that's media. That's media. You know, like you almost have to gimmick up to be like, well, you're doing the same thing that someone else is doing. I have to do something different. I have to do something unique or gimmicky or weird so that like people will watch my streams more than they will watch Ninja's stream. You know what I mean?
I'm a content guy versus anything else. Like, if you're on stream literally doing goofy, gimmicky shit, I'm like, go fuck you. Goodbye. Your audience is 12-year-olds.
Right.
I would rather go watch this.
But those 12-year-olds are what you want, because those 12-year-olds are telling all the other 12-year-olds.
I know. Fuck
Like-
the 12-year-olds.
You want to fuck 12-year-olds?
No, I
No,
know. No!
Stop!
No.
Stop it, Jesus. Inaugural episode.
Fuck the 12-year-olds. My
Yes.
bad. Yeah. Fucking damn it.
Can we get Dairy Queen after this?
No, it's already closed,
No.
brother. It's past 11.
I don't fucking care. Somebody has ice cream open.
Yeah, I have ice cream in there.
Forget it then.
The Tangent Club podcast does not condone the fornication of underage individuals in any way, shape, or form.
We're not pedophiles. I feel like that shouldn't have to be... Well, in today's society.
No,
in
yeah, in
today's
today's society.
I did just get done watching the R. Kelly documentary, and that is some fucking shit. That dude. And they still play his music on the radio.
I know they do.
Oof. I don't know, man. That shit kind of fucks me up.
I mean that motherfucker who God, what was her name? Jamie Lynn Spears. The motherfucker who fucked Jamie Lynn Spears when she was underage worked at Nickelodeon for another like 12 years after that.
That's true.
Motherfucker made iCarly. Tried to diddle the kids on iCarly.
Oh my god.
Like that is a known fact.
Also, one last piece of really good
So are the
news.
dudes who made Ren and Stimpy. They're also pedophiles.
Oh, have you seen Ren and Stimpy? I could
Yeah.
have guessed that
Yeah.
one. Fucking.
Can't be.
The last fucking piece of really good news is that Bill Murray loves the script for Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Dude, I'm
He's
so
down
excited
as
for
fuck.
Ghost. I'm super excited.
Okay.
For
He said he's
Ghostbusters
100% on board. So Bill Murray is going to be in the next.
Well, all of the
Ghostbusters.
living ones are going to be in it. Every living
That they
member
have
of the
said,
Ghostbusters of the original Ghostbusters team is going to be. Is
Well,
going to be in the movie.
at least him being like, "Yo, I read the script. That shit's a banger." Like, that
I'm
makes me feel
really,
good.
I'm happy for it, and I'm definitely gonna go see it. At the same time, I'm really hoping that this doesn't mark a second renaissance of the nostalgia train that we've been riding for like the past 4 years.
I mean, so the thing is, I don't think that train's ever going to end. And here's why. Is that the company
Nostalgia
that
sells.
controls the media, almost all of the media right now, is Disney. And Disney deals in nostalgia. That's all it fucking is. We're not going to get a new Disney movie probably ever anymore. We're just going to keep rehashing the old ones.
We're getting a new Disney movie.
No, correction.
In March.
We're not going to get a new Disney movie.
I'm
we'll
sorry.
We'll get new Pixar.
I'm sorry.
movies.
Yeah, so we'll get new animated films.
We'll get new animated films, but we're not going like the Disney princess movies. Don't like they're gonna keep coming out no matter what because fucking Disney princess movies sell like crazy.
Yes.
The amount of people who went to go see Moana, I am Moana. Fucking
Never
like,
again.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. I'll sing when I want.
Dying Light 2 is also delayed, so just everything is fucking delayed.
Everything is fucking delicious.
Moana was.
I'm
the
actually
was the
upset
last,
about
was
that
the
one.
last original film they produced, and it sold like hotcakes.
Mhm.
Frozen was a cultural revolution in our country.
Yeah, that was weird.
like that movie.
Massive revolution.
That was
Like that. Also,
that was weird.
I loved seeing all of the angry parents walking out of Frozen 2.
I mean, somebody's about to get a lot of my fucking nostalgia dollars because fucking the most recent trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog, that's my shit. My first video game was Sonic and Knuckles on my dad's old fat back fucking Dell PC. Like, I'm going to give them lots of money to watch Sonic the Hedgehog. A lot.
Hey, Mal, if they drop Sonic sneakers.
Fuck yeah!
you
You
go
fucking
get 'em.
it! What are you talking about?
What if? Okay, here's a real big one. $300. Shadow sneakers.
Do they let me hover?
No.
Do they let me hover?
They
Still
do glow,
yes.
But they do glow.
Still yes. Then definitely yes. Dude, I fucking love Sonic.
You're a.
And I am the biggest Sonic shill.
In the wrestling community, we refer to you as a mark.
Fuck you. That is not just a wrestling term either. Like, get the fuck out of here. But I'm also a giant
from what I
Star Wars
understand,
shill.
From what I understand, that term came from the wrestling communities, though.
I think Mark came from mobster mentalities.
It may have. I just know it's used a ton in the WWE fandoms.
I mean, probably. Like Sonic and Star Wars, biggest fucking. I'm such a fucking shill for that shit. I mean, and really, like,
Gundam and Kamen Rider.
They could fucking open my mouth up and shit Star Wars down my fucking throat, and I would swallow that shit with joy.
Well, so we've had this conversation before, which is that you don't go to Star Wars anymore for the movie, for the plot. You go to Star Wars because it's the next Star Wars movie. Like,
that's true.
You don't like, the story can be absolutely garbage, and you can walk out of the theater going, "Wow, that sucked." And
I rewatched today.
And if they come out with the sequel to that movie the next year, you're gonna be like, "I'm gonna go see that."
Yeah.
Why? Because it's the next Star Wars.
Probably
film.
more than once.
Yeah.
I don't know what drew me to this fucking shit again. But I, for some reason, today rewatched the trailer for Solo. And Solo was the movie I didn't go see in theaters. Not because I didn't care, but just because I didn't care.
I saw it on a plane. Great plane movie.
I was sitting I was sitting at home one day, found out that shit was on Netflix, started watching it, stopped it the moment that Childish Gambino walks into frame. I don't know why. I was like, I haven't finished it since, but I rewatched the trailer and I was like, why is this getting me hyped to watch Solo? Why do I want to watch Solo right now?
So I guess we're just shouting out all of our YouTubers right now. Cosmonaut Variety Hour has a great video on why trailers are so important.
Yeah.
It's ironic that you said that because I'm in the process of editing my review for Star Wars Episode 9 right now, and because I don't want to get cucked by YouTube, I use the trailers for edit footage. And I downloaded all of the trailers for Rise of Skywalker, and despite like all of the bullshit that is talked about that movie and everything else, I watched those trailers and I was sitting in my room like with my girlfriend, she can like verify, losing my mind like I hadn't already seen the fucking movie. Like I hadn't just written a script about the things in the movie that aren't quite that great. And I watched the trailer and I was like, God damn, that's dope. Like that the final trailer that they released where it starts at A New Hope and you see clips of every movie, and
they really made me feel about Star Wars that.
And then they just casually slide into the sequel trilogy, and I'm just like sitting in my fucking editing chair, like, fuck, I want to watch it again. Like, oh my god, it's so fucking.
The fact that when it cuts from all of like the sequel scenes back into like Poe and Finn running through the Star Destroyer, and you get that swell of the music, but it's the normal like Star Wars theme that we're used to, but it's more dramatic.
Yeah,
it's more of like it's more in like a major scale, and I'm just like, they're really trying to make me feel about Star Wars right now. They're really trying to make me feel for.
It's like,
do you know what has made me feel?
Star Wars is fucking like, that is what Star Wars is. I didn't even have to watch the movie, and I'm like, I fucking watched fucking Rise of Skywalker and went home and 2 days later got on Ultra Sabers and fucking bought a goddamn $250 lightsaber. Cause I just wanted a lightsaber. I got bills to pay and shit, and I was like, man, I need a fucking lightsaber.
I mean, Ultra Sabers is a solid choice. Saberforge is what I would have gone with, but
yeah, and then I looked at Saberforge and they're trying to cuck me for a fucking another $100 just to have my lightsaber activate. So I'm gonna have a conversation with Saberforge later. Unless you want to sponsor our podcast.
I mean, in which case, I would love to have that conversation with you.
Yes, a kind, gentle conversation.
He says, Mal has this thing.
Saberforge is the one they use in the actual lightsaber contests.
I would love. So I have a lightsaber built on Saberforge, ready to go. But like, I just wanted one quickly. Yeah. But unfortunately, and this like sums up the whole fucking thing. I like ordered the lightsaber. It was like fucking 4-day shipping, hadn't got my lightsaber, sent him an email, and I immediately got an automated email back that said, hey, fucking Ultra Sabers customer, that new movie came out and fucked us. So our shipping time has been pushed from like 3 days to 4 weeks. So everyone wanted a lightsaber, that new movie came out, and we don't have enough fucking shit to set. So we're sorry. We're going to get it to you when we can, pimp. Like,
we're going to get it to you when we can, pimp.
I don't think, so it's fucking... But like everyone saw a movie that is easily the most divisive, controversial movie that Star Wars has put out, like of that trilogy. And
I think Last Jedi takes the cake.
No, I don't think it was controversial. I think everyone just hated it. I think everyone was sort of like, this movie fucking sucks, and you know, I mean, I think everyone
agrees. That one later.
Yeah, but either way, a very controversial Star Wars movie that everyone's like, well, I don't like it. Well, I do like it. And guess what?
It was very polarizing.
It's still inspiring people to like buy fucking lightsaber. Like, go out and spend random ass me to go out and just buy Star Wars apparel because I want that shit.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
I finished The Mandalorian the night before I went to go see that first movie. Because the final episode was on Wednesday.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was the week after. Finished The Mandalorian up after watched that movie
3 times.
yeah. I saw Rise of Skywalker 3 times. Each time it was always fun. Immediately messaged Arden, my buddy Vinny, my other buddy Drew, and my other buddy Quinn. It was like, hey pimps, y'all want to play a one-shot Star Wars role-playing game?
Yeah. I mean, I was like, man, there's like fucking, 6, 7 games, like role-playing games that we have running or should be running or are in the midst of, like halfway through campaigns and shit. And I saw that movie and I was like, man, I kind of want to join Colin's fucking Star Wars game just because. Like, I want more Star Wars now. Like, I'm craving Star Wars.
Like, I texted the guys like 2 days ago because I found, I was on YouTube and I was just like looking for music to listen to while I was writing and shit. And all of a sudden it came up with this thing that's the Duel of Fates. I think it's like something really fucking silly, like epic powerful mix or something like that. And it's the Duel of Fates that blends. Somebody did this and they blend in such a way that's so interesting to me. Duel of Fates, the Imperial March,
yep,
and the battle on Mustafar. Like that level of the Duel of Fates, Anakin's theme.
Yeah, but
like they mixed all that shit.
But
together.
They melded it perfectly together, and he blasted that in my D&D campaign this week during the fight scene, and everybody was like,
"Fucking beautiful."
Oh, what's happening now?
But like I listened to that, and as I was like working on, I don't know what the fuck I was working on at the time, but as I was working on that, I literally minimized the screen, pulled open a Word document, and wrote like a 1-page stinger for a Star Wars campaign. Because I was like, this is what I'm inspired by this now.
I mean,
it's
I think that's
moving.
really what Star Wars is, and I think that's what's important. Is that Star Wars was never about, like, I mean, we can do all. It's fun for me to review things and pick things apart and pick media apart. But I think at the heart of things, the reason people love Star Wars so much is because it's fucking Star Wars. Like,
I mean, and the only reason Star Wars is because people kept telling George Lucas no.
That's true.
In the first movie.
Yeah.
Still to this day, my favorite thing ever is Star Wars' original name.
Which is what?
It was, oh god, it's awful. I'll look it up really quick.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, only because I don't want to get it wrong.
Right.
Because it's so great how bad it is.
So it's like an extended fucking title? We're talking about how this motherfucker can't leave his old movies alone, and there are now 4 different versions of whether or not Han or
Greedo shot first.
McClunky. Fuck me, dude. It's like so much.
Somehow George Lucas got into the editing booth. Jesus.
Well,
but we're never gonna see the end of the nostalgia train, which to me is kind of like.
Maybe that's just the world we live in now.
The alternate timeline.
Maybe there's no more stories to be fucking told. We just got to go back and rehash the old ones. That's not true.
Don't tell me that.
There's always stories to be told. But
you will hurt my pride if you tell me that.
Or maybe every story ever is just the nostalgia train because like the stories we're telling are just rehashing of fucking Shakespeare, and Shakespeare's just rehashing of like old Greek plays, and Greek plays are just motherfuckers talking about who's old boy mongrels.
Gilgamesh.
What you like?
I'm mad.
My reference point to Gilgamesh is fate. Yes.
Versus our freshman year required reading of Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
Where it's
Gilgamesh.
my brother Enkidu, without you in my life, I will not be able to survive anymore. Therefore, I will lock myself away in my golden palace for the rest of my days until I die of a broken heart. Jesus. The gayest story in literature, and it's the first written tale.
It's the first written epic, man.
I love Gilgamesh. I'm a
What is the name?
I'm
of
a heterosexual cis white male, and I fucking love how gay Gilgamesh is. It's so great.
I'm trying to remember what the name of his city was.
He was fuck. I don't know.
Just give me the original name of Star
Wars. Uruk.
Yeah, Uruk.
It's Uruk. Yeah. It's Orc.
Yeah, that's
King of Orc.
Yeah, no, that's where Tolkien stole the name from.
Jesus fucking Christ.
He was just like, oh yes, yeah, Uruk.
Gilgamesh, King of Uruk.
Okay, so I can't find the original name for for what Star Wars was going to be called. But I can tell you what Star Wars Episode 4's original name was.
Which was?
It was The Adventures of Luke Skywalker as taken from the Journal of the Wills, Saga 1, The Star Wars. That was Episode 4's original name.
Who played Han Solo? Harrison Ford once threatened George Lucas by saying, "I will tie you to a chair and make you read your own lines because that's how bad they are."
Yeah. No, dude, the only reason Star Wars succeeded was because people kept telling George Lucas, "You suck."
Yeah, stop.
And then and then we got to the prequels,
and people stopped telling him that.
Or people stopped telling him what to do because he was George Lucas and he made Star Wars.
Yeah. He was George Lucas and he made Star Wars, and there's video footage. I love this shit. And I love this shit because it brings me back to one of my favorite people in undergrad, Alexander Hellenberg. Look his fucking YouTube channel up and give that man some love. His shit's ridiculous.
Oh.
But he and I stayed up one night and somehow we got on the topic of Star Wars. I don't know how it happened. It happens. We all know this. We got on the topic of Star Wars and he starts playing for me. He finds it on YouTube. Like bonus features and shit.
Oh yeah,
of the Phantom Menace.
Yes,
and there's video footage of the camera. It's like watching an episode of The Office because George Lucas is in the fucking is in the room with all the shot lists and the storyboards and shit. And he was like, he will go from his team to the storyboards and say these words in this order: Jar Jar is the key. Jar Jar will save Star Wars. Yep. Jar Jar is the key. And the camera will cut back to, will pan back to the people in the room, and they're going... I don't know
about that one, Chief.
He brings Steven Spielberg to the silo where they're beginning to, get the sets built for Star Wars and shit. And he's got a cardboard life-size cutout of Jar Jar Binks, and he's like, and this is Jar Jar. You know, the only character he had a fucking cutout for at the beginning. And Steven Spielberg's like, that's the key? That's the key?
That's your guy?
That's the guy?
So, from what I can remember, this is what the original name for Star Wars was. This is what I can remember, so this is 100% not correct, I'm positive. But I believe it was something along the lines of, the epic space battles of Luke Starkiller. A saga part 1, the Star Wars. I have heard that was the original name, and then they were like, no, scrap all of that. First off, his name can't be Starkiller. That sounds like a Nazi. So he scrapped that, and he's like, cool, Skywalker, and everybody's like, sure, that's a type of weed, but all right, dude.
Type of weed, but whatever, man.
But it was just one of those things. And then we got the working title for episode 4, and then everybody was like, no. And then he was just like, Star Wars.
Yep.
And then it was later we learned, oh, these are episodes, because the next one after that was just
The
Empire Strikes Back. And then we have Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
And then it was when we got the prequels and they released all of the original movies on cassette as a box set. It read as episode 4, 5, and 6. And people were like, what? And then they were like, prequels. Here's episode 1. And everybody was like, ooh.
And everyone lost their...
And then they shut the bed.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me... Hang on. Read that again. Read the name again.
The working title for episode 4?
Both working titles. Yep, read it.
Well, no. So the first one I'm positive was not actually the case in point, but this is from what I can remember. I believe it was literally like something along the lines of like a space opera, like the Adventures of Luke Starkiller, a space opera, Saga 1, the Star Wars.
This isn't an isekai, George Lucas. This is a fucking.
It's like all the fucking light novel titles now.
Yeah.
In Another World with My Mom, the superhero. Like
again, it's because these are written by
Rascal
dudes.
Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, which is a great anime.
It is. It's really good.
And not an Oh, you said light novel.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But no,
Isekais are ridiculous too. It's like so I got turned into
as the slime.
That's a good one, but no, the one that I'm thinking about that gets me every time is like
it wrong to
I
put
want
girls in a dungeon?
No, shut the fuck up. No, it's I told you to turn me into a wholesome pooch, not the bringer of Ragnarok.
Yep,
what? Yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
That's a great
Shout out to Getting the Robot. Kurt is the one who told me about that one. I fucking read the whole thing that night. This shit's ridiculous. This kid dies, and he gets and at his funeral, like his spirit, as he is passing on, he asks the higher powers at being to be reincarnated as a wholesome pooch, so he can live a life of luxury. Right. And he opens his eyes, and he's Fenrir.
Oh my fucking god.
I mean, that's a wholesome pooch.
It's so fucking silly, bro.
Alright, we've come full circle from Star Wars through video games, a little bit of anime, and back to Star Wars.
And anime.
And anime, yeah. So, we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Go watch Mal's Jedi Fallen Order playthrough, or at least the first episode.
Yeah,
More about to come.
If you're watching this on something that isn't YouTube, like SoundCloud or maybe Spotify, you can find us on YouTube at Lotus Media. On YouTube, we have lots of videos and lots of stuff coming out this year. I have been Mal the Coolest Nerd.
This has been ArdenXIII. I'm still waiting on that ramen.
And I'm Rain F the Fifth. You can find me on all the social medias at RAENEF_V.
Yeah, that's Mal the Coolest Nerd on Twitter.
It's ArdenXIII everywhere. I don't know.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's at Malcoolnerd on Twitter. What's my Twitter handle?
Oh no. Hey, I can tell you right now because you have two.
Nope, I deleted that one.
Did you delete the other one? Did you not get your Twitter handle?
No,
back?
it's Malcoolnerd on Twitter.
No. Yours is at Malcoolestnerd.
Let me see it.
I'm literally looking at it on Twitter.
Close this shit down.
You suck at your own ats.
At Malcoolestnerd. Okay. Yeah.
Get your intros together, dude.
This is an outro.
Fuck. It's been Mal the Coolest Nerd.
ArdenXIII.
And Rain F.
Thank you so much for watching the first episode of Tangent Club. We hope you have a great day, and I hope we made you smile a little bit.
Take care of yourselves.
Peace.